Hello and welcome, friends, to episode 91 of the XboxEra podcast. I'm Sikamikanico, and I'm joined, as usual, by Special Nick.
What's going on?
And we also have our sneaky producer, who really doesn't want it to not be New Year's anymore, Jesse, hiding in the background. It's Saturday. It's 11 p.m. my time. It's 10 a.m. your time. It's
on Sunday.
What is it? It's Sunday for you, yeah.
Sunday for me.
I have a really sore throat. My COVID test was negative, but I'm feeling pretty rough today, so apologies. I'm going to be hot on the mute button for any impromptu coughing sessions.
It's ripping through everyone here.
I just saw a headline that the UK government are just like, just cancel the free test. Let's just live with this now. And I'm like, okay.
It's tearing through. Like, my cousin tried to go to... They went to a shopping centre. Probably 3/4 of the shops were closed because of staffing shortages because everyone's got COVID. So it's like the shops aren't open, restaurants aren't open.
The good news is that at least apparently with this variant, there's less hospitalizations because it's apparently less severe.
Yeah, less severe, less virulent.
So maybe this is the version that the government's initial herd immunity plans might actually come true on.
Yeah, let's hope. In a weird way. Let's hope.
In a weird way.
But yeah.
Like, I wish no one any illness, but please God, I just want this to be over now. How you been, man? How you been? Busy week? Good week?
Yeah, it's been all right. I've been dodging COVID. Everyone in my family's got it, so I've just been dodging it. Like, I saw this meme that someone had made saying the last few remaining people trying to dodge COVID, and it was one of those Mario Maker levels that had all those fire things, and the guy's trying to dodge through all of them. I'm like, that is exactly how it is.
That is my life.
It is exactly like that. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's weird. I've got a nice day out planned tomorrow, but otherwise a very uneventful week. Back at work, which is...
They wanted to get us back to work, as in back into the... Oh, you're talking about just work in general.
Back to work for me is here in this room anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
But, yeah...
That sucks, doesn't it?
Well, hey, look, the chat's already here, and Gecko Gamer is already like, oh, hey, guys, I've got a question. And I think it's an interesting one, because there's been a lot of discussion about your aversion to in-game video stories told via...
I play games, I don't watch movies.
Handcrafted, animated, voiced cutscenes. So Gecko's asked, what do the XboxEra community need to do to get Nick to live stream a Psychonauts 2 or Metal Gear Solid game playthrough without skipping the cutscenes? Is there such a thing for you to ever...
I don't know. It's probably going to cost a lot of money.
Lots of money.
It's probably going to cost a lot of money, guys.
And it needs to be Metal Gear Solid 4 with its many
Metal Gear Solid 4,
cutscenes.
No. 2 hours of cutscenes. Hey, you can always pay me to finish off Last of Us 2.
Have you still not gone back and finished that?
I can't be bothered.
Is it better slog?
Elaneri from the Discord just started playing it. And they're like, oh, it's really good. I'm enjoying it so far. And I'm like, you're in for a slog. All those cutscenes. And they're like, no, I'm really enjoying it. Maybe these games aren't for you. And then like 3 people, including me, were like, yep, that's why I play Rocket League and Fortnite all the time. Because I'm not interested in these games anymore. They just force me through these movies. I'm like...
How long do you think the cutscenes in Metal Gear Solid 4 are altogether?
It'd
be hours. It'd be like 8 to 10 hours.
It's about 8 hours total.
Yeah.
And one of them is 90 minutes long.
Yeah. I know. I sat through them. Like, I just couldn't believe it.
Wait, unskippable?
God, it's been so long. I can't remember.
Madness.
I still have my disc copy on PlayStation 3. I've also got it digitally. It's actually a really good game. The game itself, as in the gameplay, the visuals, everything is good. But then you just have to watch so many full-length movies that it's crazy. Like, it's just... Oh, my God.
Not for everyone. What have you been playing? Or is it just the usual this week?
Lots of Halo. I'm level 97 now in the battle pass. I'm almost there. It's just so hilarious how that game went from having snail pace progression to like hyper aggressive progression where people are now hitting level 100 in no time flat.
Yeah,
but the thing
you've
is,
got now nothing to look forward to until May, really.
but I don't care. I want to play. I just want to play swap
for the crazy fast progression.
Yeah, but the thing is, I hear no one complaining about how quickly they're progressing now because guess what? They paid their money, so they're happy to hit level 100 and unlock everything real quick. So it's fine. But they're going to have to strike a balance because while, yes, I am hitting level 100 very fast, I'm only doing it because I'm targeting challenges.
Yeah. You put your boost on, first games of the day, all the challenges.
Yes. If I wasn't doing that, if I was just jumping in and playing Tactical Slayer like I'd like to, I would still be progressing ridiculously slowly, if at all.
Yeah.
So they have to strike a balance somehow. Somehow they have to get to where Fortnite is. So Fortnite, like, they have to find a way to reward good performance, basically.
Yeah.
In games. Like they can't have this thing where people are targeting and forced into modes they don't want to play and all that sort of stuff. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they need to find a way.
I have lightly talked about that an experience system is what they might shift to. They specifically called out that Season 1 is using a challenge system. And then also talked about like bigger progression. So for us who read everything, it seems like they know.
I just despise
but the funny thing
weapon-based challenges.
Yeah, I know. Especially when it's horrible weapons that aren't fun to use, like most of the Covenant ones. The funny thing is, if this was a regular 3-month season, I'd be hitting level 100 at just on 2 months, which is fine.
Yeah.
That's okay. But it's a 6-month season, so...
Yeah, let's see how they fare.
They put into the game this week the next 2 fracture events. So they'll have.
I already got to the top level of that.
3 out of every 4 weeks will be a fracture week. So they'll have those going each month too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I played some Halo earlier this evening. Funnily enough, I got to dive into some multiplayer. Joined a random appearance from Abe, aka One Bad Mother. He got to experience a UK server, and he's like, "Oh, this latency is horrible." And we're like, "Welcome to the last 20 years of Halo for people in the UK and Australia." It ain't fun.
My god, I was playing with 10K.
Yeah,
and so every single game was minimum 150 ping, bare minimum. And 10K goes to me, "How good would you be if this was an Australian server?" He's like, "You're leading our team right now, and your guns are worthless." I'm like, yeah, man, why do you think I get so frustrated with this stuff? He's like, you are leading the entire thing with 160 ping. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm like, this is annoying. Like, man.
Never mind. Other than that, I played a little bit of The Pedestrian.
I want to start that. I've downloaded it and I want to start it. It looks good.
Yeah. That's the nice part of Game Pass. It's not a game I would buy normally. The thing is, I started playing it, and the puzzles are a bit so far one note. And like when you go through games of that type, they'll go, "Okay, here's this type of puzzle. Okay, you've mastered it now. Let's change things up." And I was like, "Okay, change it up, guys. Why haven't you changed it up?" And I'm like, "Okay, this is just boring." So it looks really nice though, and quite a unique idea. And what else did I play? I've nearly finished the Gunk. I
finished that.
I've lost a bit of my gaming mojo. I often get like this at the beginning of the year. It's like a big splurge as you hit towards Christmas, and then it's like, and then I've been watching a lot of films. And speaking of films, because I know you and I randomly discuss new movies, have you watched Don't Look Up yet?
Yep.
Do you like it?
It was okay.
It's okay.
I liked it. It wasn't bad. It was fine.
I didn't hate it.
Yeah, it wasn't anything, oh my God, this movie's like amazing, must see, whatever. But it was okay. DiCaprio was as good as he always is.
Yeah, he was good fun.
Yeah.
I've seen Spider-Man as well now, but we won't
How good
talk
is
about
it?
that for spoilers.
It's so good.
It
Tell me you
they
like
did pretty good.
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Loved
Yeah,
it.
that was
And I
really
can't wait for Doctor Strange 2 now.
yeah, I know. That's
Ah,
shit's gonna get wild.
yeah.
Yeah,
Let's see how long it takes before they back up the money truck to RDJ's house. So hey, want to be Iron Man again?
yeah. The
Or-
evil Iron
or-
Man.
Or they use the multiverse as a way to try out different actors to replace him as Iron Man. So, well, in this dimension, it's this dude that's Tony Stark and Iron Man, and see how people respond to those actors. I reckon that's what they might be doing.
It could be interesting. We'll
I
see.
refuse to accept that Iron Man is gone. He can't be. He can't be. He's the reason the MCU exists as it is in its current form.
Sure,
Like, he
but that's
can't
why his
just be
death has
gone.
got to carry that weight, right? That was a good moment. It was a moment.
Yeah, but if the
that was
Matrix has taught us anything, it's that you can just bring people back from the dead just because you feel like it. So, surely we can just have Iron Man come back via the multiverse.
I suspect that the Matrix is a little bit of I have to write a sequel. Okay, okay, because the half the film is taking the piss out of studios that want ridiculous sequels for no reason.
Of course it is.
So,
Via video games.
yeah, it's great, great analogy. I've also been on a massive true story movie binge, and I caught a movie that I'd missed last year, which is The Trial of the Chicago 7. Don't know if you've seen it.
Oh, okay, I've heard of it. Haven't seen it.
100%. Stick on Netflix and give it a watch. I was really impressed.
I'm sure my wife will. She's
It's a true
all
story.
about those true crime, true story things. She's all about those.
But it's mind-boggling that it actually happened, and that some of the quotes are actually from the court documents, and it's just like, how is this allowed? Like, it really
Wow.
does. And then you think, okay, yeah, it's America. But
Did you see
yeah,
Ghostbusters?
I have seen Ghostbusters. That was the last one I
How
wanted to talk about.
good was it? How good was it?
Do you know what? I went in we've all seen 2016 Ghostbusters, right?
Yeah.
Right? Okay, well, I don't think we need to say anything about 2016 Ghostbusters. And I went in with this, and I'm like, okay. And they've got the dum dum dum.
Yeah, I love how they did that. I love how they did that.
That kind of like the musical beat.
Yeah.
They spent time developing the kid characters. Not as much time on the guy from Stranger Things.
Paul
he
Rudd.
felt a bit.
The older
young
son.
kid.
The son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He felt a bit superfluous. Like, I feel like they could have fleshed them out and maybe made some of the other sequences a little bit
I don't even
shorter.
reckon they needed him, to be honest. The older brother. Probably didn't even need him.
Yeah, but the tribute at the end, and I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not going to say anything in detail, but the tribute at the end was incredibly well done. In fact, out of all
I thought it was good.
times where they've done what they did,
Yes.
that one was
Yes.
up there. It was the
that
best
got that got to my wife very much. So she got
me a
very
little bit.
upset.
I grew up with those films, and I was like,
Yeah, same here. I thought it was good. I thought they like, you could tell they completely ignored the existence of the second movie, which is fair enough
yeah, they did.
because the second movie wasn't great. But it's like, I don't know. It's like they didn't episode 7 it, but they did harken back to that original movie a lot.
It was a little bit Force Awakens, but
A little bit.
in ways that also set up like the after credits
Yes.
stuff. So you see both of the after credits sequences because there was like 2.
I think so, but I can't remember 100%. I do believe I did.
I just mentioned the old firehouse.
Yes. I saw that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And that's
Cool.
the thing. I don't know. I thought they did it pretty well. Like, I actually liked that they explored quote unquote lore of
Yeah.
Ghostbusters. I thought that was really, really cool. Like, that, to me, that's how you do a sequel decades later that has a lot to live up to.
Yeah.
Like, they actually did something different while also tugging on the nostalgia, while also introducing a new pathway, while also, I don't know, I thought it was,
I had a lot of fun with it, and I wasn't.
yeah, I
going
liked
in
it. I liked it
expecting
a lot. Like, I liked it a lot. It was good.
It's good. There's lots of good movies coming out now ahead of us. So
There
I'm
is.
a very happy man. I like my films. We'll do a movie podcast at some point. When we're doing XboxEra, we've got the XboxEra offices in London, Melbourne, and the US. That's the point where we'll branch out a bit more and become.
Oh, I'm telling you, if the day ever comes that this becomes our full-time job, 100% movie podcast, 100% Friends podcast. Like, they're both happening.
No, you're not allowed to bring up
sure.
Friends because he's built things. He's built things to talk about Friends.
Have to.
It's funny.
Gecko Gamer. We're going to go more. There's already more super chats.
Oh, okay, go on. What do we got?
Gecko Gamer, did you guys hear that Halo Infinite multiplayer launch also caused a player spike in Splitgate? I personally. Sorry?
I did not hear that.
Splitgate gained a player spike on the PlayStation after Halo 1 came out.
Well, that would make sense.
Yeah.
They want a Halo type experience on there, which they do not have. Where's their Halo?
The Halo
Where
killer.
is their Halo? Because apparently Xbox needs their Last of Us.
Do we?
Maybe PlayStation needs their Halo.
Oh.
I mean, for me, it's Killzone Shadowfall, but I am in the minority on that one.
I can't help. Like, I played Splitgate, and it's unique and it's cool.
I haven't played it yet.
I know one of the map designers on Splitgate, and he used to work on Halo, funnily enough. And he's a really nice guy. And I wish, because I know they got a bunch of extra funding because the game went really popular.
Yes.
And it was a perfect storm for them because Halo's delay left a gap in the market, and a lot of Halo streamers were like, "Oh, actually, Splitgate's really fun," and it got a lot of attention and videos. I can't help but feel now that that's eked off a little bit, and I hope that they get to their bigger release. I did see that they did a really cool thing. So as map designers, they got their Blocktober kind of playlists out. So it was a series of maps that are in block form, like you would design them in Unreal before the art team come in and make them.
Okay.
And they're just playing around to test how it feels. Is it a good play space? And then they'll worry about the art later on, which I think is a really cool thing to do. I'd love to see more game developers do that.
I think what this all does prove, though, is that what many of us have suspected. Halo is ultimately the king, and all it took was for Halo to have a good game before taking its place where it belongs. Like, it's... Yeah, they just needed a good game.
Having said that, I've had a lot longer to chew on Halo multiplayer, and I've started to notice a lot of... The multiplayer game, speaking from a UK perspective, and I imagine that a lot of this will align for you, Nick, versus it might not for Jesse. There is a lot of network shenanigans that is extremely frustrating. Shots not registering, being shot like fully behind cover, and then you die when you're like in any other game. I'm out. I can't be seen. Why am I dying? Or you're getting hit before you come out to take the shot because you're going to get the dropper.
Dying with one melee. When you haven't even been shot, your shield has not been worn down yet someone just punches you in the face and you die. I'm like, what is happening? Yeah,
a lot of it is starting to accumulate and make me cross, and I want to see server improvements. I want to see tick rate improvements. I need to see
let
just
me choose
a greater
server.
breadth of care. Yeah,
let me choose a server. Like, just let me.
Let me decide.
And if there's no matches, cool. I'll open it up, whatever.
Yeah.
But the funniest part is, you know which mode I wind up on Aussie servers on all the time? Tactical Slayer.
Oh,
which means all the Aussies are there because they probably can't be bothered dealing with 160, 200 ping. And so they're all just playing Tactical Slayer because it reduces the impact of the high ping, which means that it happens to be putting us all on Aussie servers because that's where we all are. It's just... the irony of it. Like, I joined Tactical Slayer to try and reduce the impact of 160 ping, and then it turns out it's saying 22 in the corner. I'm like, oh my god, I'm on an Aussie server. It's just...
Yeah. There's just a lot of tightening of screws, some real quality of life updates are really, really needed. And I know that I saw a note from Postums, who was sort of like the lead communicator for a lot of the Master Chief Collection updates at 343. And he said, hey, a lot of the team's still on holiday, all due back next week, but people are working on this kind of like roadmappy type list. And I think that's an important thing to try and communicate. Hey, we're back. Here's what we're looking at first. Here's what's going to come next. Here's, when you can expect new maps. Here's when you can expect such and such. Because at this point, the only things we know for sure is that there's a nebulous date of May where we get Season 2 and campaign co-op. And then there's a nebulous date of 3 months after that where we get Forge.
Yeah.
But we don't know anything about maps. We don't know anything about new modes. I saw Paul Tassi put an article out talking about he reckons there's going to be some sort of flood firefight survival horde mode thing.
That could be cool.
I can't remember exactly what I wrote, but yeah, like the thing is now there's so much potential that it's a race against time before you lose the player base.
That's right.
And people move on, and this is what scares me the most because this is what happened with Halo 5. The great thing is when the game works, it feels incredible, and hopefully that's enough to keep people sticking around for a nice, healthy community of Halo fun.
In a year or two, that game is going to be perfection.
Oh god, yeah.
It's just going to be utter perfection in a year or two, both as a package, campaign and multiplayer, because there'll be some DLCs for the campaign and all that. So they'll tighten things up, and they'll probably ditch Xbox One by then, improve the visuals on the campaign. It'll just be like unbelievable in a year or two. But will everyone be gone by then?
That's what scares me. So
we'll see.
Yeah, and we're a bit late, but Faisal's put a super chat in saying Iron Man died
for our sins. I can't remember the last time I cried. So I was watching it gold class, right? Because we're like Avengers Endgame, that has to be gold class, and I knew it was coming. Like I knew he was going to die because I've got a
moment of cinema.
Yeah, I've got a friend, a source, if you will, but I don't leak Marvel stuff. But I've got a source that tells me about comic book movie stuff and what's going on with it. I had the Joker script like 6 months before that movie came out.
Wow, that must have been an interesting read.
Oh, yeah, read through the whole Joker script. Pretty close. Like, that script is pretty close to what the final movie was. I got, like, he alluded to the fact that Iron Man was going to die, like, because he knew how much of an Iron Man fan I was. And I was like, look, dude, I don't care about spoilers. I honestly don't care. He's like, well, maybe be prepared. He's like, you might get a little bit upset. So I knew he was going to die. But even though I knew and I could see the moment was coming, oh man, I was like uncontrollably crying, like to the point where my wife was like, be quiet, you're very loud right now. And like people are going to turn around. I was just like, just like full on sobbing uncontrollably.
Oh my God.
And the funny thing is I actually tear up every time I see it. Like, that hasn't waned. I still tear up when I see it.
Do you know what? I'm not ashamed to cry at a good movie or any medium that does it well. In fact, there are movies that always 100% bring me to tears. And there are some movies that I'll watch, like, yearly if I need to have a good, good old cry. But yeah, man, that was a big moment. Big moment.
Oh.
Good stuff. Anyway, movies. This is a gaming podcast, right?
Yeah, a couple more super chats before we get going.
Is there one more? I think there's two more.
There's two more. Jeremy G, keep rocking, gents. Thanks, Jeremy.
And
Joaquin Branch. This could, I guess, kickstart news. I guess, sort of in a way.
Let's kickstart news.
Gents, how much credence do you put in the rumor that Square isn't going to launch any Final Fantasy this gen on Xbox? Well, I mean, how long have I been saying on this podcast, please do not hold your breath for Final Fantasy VII Remake on Xbox? I keep saying, look, again,
for years.
My sources have not said to me flat out, it will never come. They've just always said, don't hold your breath, just act like it's never going to come because it's unlikely to come. So I've always worked on the assumption that Final Fantasy VII Remake will never come to Xbox. Having said that, Final Fantasy 16 is a surprise because 13 came, 15 came and reportedly both did okay on Xbox. So it seems odd.
Yeah.
But I guess Sony really wants Final Fantasy being associated with
want it to be the
PlayStation
home.
again.
But that's
like it used to
okay,
be.
because Microsoft can just buy all of the Western studios.
Or they could just buy the whole thing. That would throw a bit of a spanner in the works, wouldn't it? If they just bought the whole thing.
What, bought Square Enix? God.
Yeah, just bought the whole
can you
lot.
imagine?
Oh Jesus! It would have no relevance to me, but it would be hilarious to watch.
Now, it's interesting that the super chats are still coming in. Emil,
They are.
now this one's going to be an interesting one, Nick, and I'm hesitant to talk about it. I can't pronounce it. The Italian...
that Italian Lumia
on Twitter
account.
Yeah.
It's like someone filled out a survey thing.
Yeah.
Kind of, or a bug report or something like that.
That's one part. That's the bit that Idle Sloth tweeted. But this is actually calling out XIP_car_January 2022, now available for internal testing. Seems like Age 4 is coming to consoles this year. Car equals Cardinal, which was Age of Empires 4's code name. That's the tweet. Cool if it does.
Insider Tim Dog said on Twitter last year that he expects it to come sometime this year to console.
Oh, Tim Dog.
Yeah.
Tim Dog tweeted that
Dog.
out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
throw it all on him.
there you go.
Yeah.
Be cool if it does.
If it does. It'd be cool if Age 4 came to Xbox. It would be really cool if that happened.
We'd have to get Mr. Adam Ice Cream back on to chit chat about it if it gets announced, right? So,
and that's the thing. If it's happening, it would have been nice if it didn't get spoiled. Because that's a big surprise for that team to reveal themselves.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? That's one of those things where even if I knew about it, I wouldn't want to say anything because I wouldn't want to spoil that for them. But that's only if I knew. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw that this morning and I was like, oh. But what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? And the last one, Gecko again. Man, he's a machine. What is the story behind your username?
You can stay out of this one, Nick.
About mine. Yeah. I've told the story before. Go back through older episodes of the podcast. Let's look. I changed my name for a reason.
Yeah, because you were getting ahead.
I changed my name for a reason.
The brigade.
Yeah, I mean, you do things when you're younger that you don't think about. Remember, I made the name in 2004.
Yeah,
it was a long time ago, and it was obviously a very different time. 2004. That's now 17 years ago.
Mental.
18. No. Yeah, 18 years ago almost.
That's scary.
Wow. That's like I made my name when some kids now that are 18 were born. That's scary.
That is scary.
Oh my God.
But yeah. Gecko, short and sweet. I'll put a link in the chat now. But the story of my gamer tag was I was a beta tester for Xbox Live back in 2002, 2003, maybe, whenever it first came to the UK. I got the little starter pack, I got the wired headset and the demo and stuff. I was like, oh no, I need a gamer tag, but it has to be something no one will have ever in the world, and it's going to be mine forever. And I was really into the Chili Peppers at the time, so I chose this song, which is actually in the soundtrack of the film Wayne's World. The link is there. Go listen to it. Good tune.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
I don't like Chili Peppers.
Yeah, it's a good tune. Anyway, look, I've noticed the artwork of the episode this week is a series of straight in the middle bullseyes. Accuracy.
I didn't know what to do.
Accuracy was the theme. And I thought the episode was going to be called Bullseye, but then I see Jesse had already called it Especially.
Yeah, Jesse had already named it. Yeah.
So I can live with that. But interesting news this week, and arguably the biggest piece of news, which a lot of places misinterpreted, was that Ubisoft Plus is coming to Xbox.
Yeah.
Not Ubisoft Plus is coming to Xbox Game Pass. But it's
There
coming
was
to Xbox.
confusion for a bit there.
But one game is coming to Game Pass, which is Rainbow Six Extraction.
You want to know what the funny thing is? I went through my OneNote. I went through my OneNote, and the first DM we got about the Ubisoft Plus stuff actually said Ubisoft Plus is coming to Xbox. And that was in the very, very first DM I got about it. And then the same source, as time went on, was like, oh, hold on, this deal is evolving. It looks like there's going to be some form of Ubi Vault type thing coming to Game Pass. And then the deal kept evolving more, and there's more stuff I got told that I have not said publicly. And it just kept evolving and changing.
Yeah.
And it looks like where we've settled on is they're going to take the EA Access route.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah. So EA Access came to Xbox first. They probably saw how it went and went, okay, cool, let's chuck it in Game Pass Ultimate now. I'm going to assume that this is where Plus is going to go. Like, they'll take that same path. They start by releasing on Xbox, be there for a few months, see how it goes, see how many people sub, then go, okay, chuck it in Game Pass. Yeah. Or like a light variant of it or something like that.
I think it's fair to say that if they get enough of these kind of publisher-based stores on the Xbox ecosystem, that me as a Game Pass subscriber, in a very similar way to Amazon's Luna, is I'm really into Ubisoft games. I'm going to add them as an add-on to my Game Pass subscription, and Ubisoft get their X amount a month. The big problem for Ubisoft at the moment is they're charging $14.99 just for Ubisoft games, and I'm sorry, guys. When every Ubisoft game kind of plays the same, I don't see the value in that personally, but there's a lot of Assassin's Creed fans and Far Cry fans and all of that jazz out there. So I'm not judging. It's just not something I would go out and seek to pay for. But every now and then a Ubisoft game comes where I'm like, yeah, I'll play that. Rainbow Six Siege Extraction does look quite fun. I've read some of the previews. Yeah, I'll give it a go. We've also got a similar game, Anna Crucis, coming to Xbox on Game Pass, which is... some of the Left 4 Dead team that were at Valve, not the Left 4 Dead team that were at...
Turtle Rock.
Thank you. Turtle Rock. I was about to say Back 4 Blood, but yeah, it gets confusing. So there's lots of these kind of co-op looter-shooter type games coming. So I think, again, they looked at that particular title and was like, yeah, let's maximise our player base for this, because Rainbow Six Siege is an old game, so maybe we won't get a lot of excitement. So I'm just interested to see how the grand experiment plays out. And is it going to be the case of, like EA Access, it was on Xbox for ages, and initially we had PlayStation, oh, we don't see the value in subscription services, and then, okay, yeah, we'll have it, please, thanks. Like 4 years later or however long it was. Are we going to see that happen again? Are we going to see them try to move a bit faster?
Like I said, dude, I mean, I put it out on Twitter. Like I said, I initially set a Vault into Game Pass. But I guess it's possible that in the subsequent 12 months that's changed. I mean, you're talking about a full year since I was told anything about it. So, yeah.
Who knows?
Technically didn't get it, but, you know.
But it must be nice to have called that out in advance.
Yeah, well, I mean, I only say what I'm told.
It's nice. It's good.
It's not always 100%. Sometimes...
Darkwing Duck. You know? Sometimes Darkwing Duck.
You were listed as unreliable on the PS5 subreddit. I'm sorry, Nick.
Oh, yeah. I'm forever unreliable. Just like how I was super unreliable about that Horizon VR thing.
Yeah.
But I see no one saying anything about my unreliability there. Or GoldenEye.
Yeah. No, total, you know.
Funny that, isn't it?
Yeah, well, people are weird. I can see Faisal with another super chat saying he's kind of riffing off of my thoughts there as well, but it's 100 versions of the same game on Ubisoft Plus. Yeah, it's not my jam. It's not my jam.
No, that's right. And speaking of VR, Sony finally showed PSVR2.
Yes, they did. It looks excellent.
Not wireless.
I didn't expect it to be.
I was hoping it would be.
No chance.
But they've got a USB-C cable on the front.
Yeah. I mean, it's one
So
cable this time, right? So
that's right, which would just be that USB-C cable. I was just secretly hoping that it would be a wireless set, because Sony does do mobile phones. Let's not forget, Sony's been making mobile phones for a long time. And they're a hardware company.
Yep.
So I was secretly hoping that maybe they had done like a more powerful version of an Oculus Quest 2, which can then plug into a PS5 for a bit of a boost, depending on the game you're playing, or even a PC.
Yeah.
Not that's completely ruled out, of course, but yeah.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of PC people look at the specs for PSVR2 and be like, oh, yeah, I want this, and it does look great. 110-degree field of view, OLED screen, inside-out tracking.
Eye tracking, I think? Or did I see that wrong?
Yeah.
Maybe I was wrong on that one.
Very cool if it did.
It has eye tracking, yes.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought I read that. I didn't think that was my imagination. It's supposed to be a good unit. And it's funny, so something I kind of wasn't expecting, because I follow Benji Sales on Twitter.
Yeah, Benji seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, we follow each other on Twitter, and I just happened, because remember, you can't control what you see on Twitter anymore. Twitter just does its algorithm thing and decides based on your likes and your this and your that to show you whatever tweets it wants to show you. And it happened to show me a tweet from Benji. Benji saying, I have to wonder if Sony and Valve will do a deal for Half-Life Alyx, to come to PlayStation VR, blah, 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 blah. And I went, oh yeah, didn't I get a DM about that? So I went back through my DMs, as I do sometimes. And funnily enough, there was one from May last year saying, yep, Half-Life Alyx is coming to PlayStation. So I'm like, I tapped that same source on the shoulder saying, is this still happening? I don't want to say anything. I don't want to reply to Benji or say anything to Benji if it's not happening anymore. Is this still happening? They're like, yep. I'm like, okay. So I just quote tweeted Benji saying, they are pretty sure they have done a deal. I thought that was one of those open secrets that everyone just knows about, because I had sort of forgotten about it because I don't really care about VR much. And then all of a sudden, that thing happened where there's articles and there's Reddit threads. And
your favourite thing.
Oh, gee, that's pretty shifty timing of this to come out. I'm like, no, man, Twitter just showed me that tweet and I decided to say something. And then, just tried to get it reconfirmed because I got a little bit nervous. And they were like, yep, still happening.
There you go.
So that'd be pretty big for PSVR 2.
I mean, I'm too much of a wuss and I haven't been able to...
And for Half-Life Alyx.
Half-Life Alyx. I know, Jesse, you're a big fan, right? You did a stream on it, actually.
It's probably one of the best games ever made.
Wow.
Just best experiences overall. It is essentially a super well-made first-person shooter that also happens to control and look and run perfectly, because I've got a mediocre laptop and an Oculus Quest 2, and it looks perfect. It's fantastic.
Well, apparently the specs, the recommended specs for Half-Life Alyx...
Yep.
And the PSVR 2 specs are pretty much almost a perfect match.
Good.
Which I guess helps to have it run real well on PSVR 2.
Yeah.
So, or not the PSVR 2 specs, but the PS5 PSVR 2 combo, I guess, because they both have their own specs individually.
Yeah, the headset's just a video screen. So it's pretty much what the headset do and the controllers. The PlayStation 5, my laptop. Yeah, so the Quest you use just to stream from your computer to, because Half-Life Alyx doesn't work natively on it. You have to
it wouldn't. It's
stream
not strong
from
enough.
a computer. Yeah, but the PlayStation VR2 is more than capable of running that game. That game can run on a lot of hardware.
Because it's the PlayStation 5 that's technically running the game.
The headset has no internals. It's just a video screen and cameras. There's no battery too, which is why it's not wireless. So, and it can never be wireless unless they put an attachment.
Yeah, and a battery pack attachment or something like that.
So I tell you what, let's do a poll, because I've seen this conversation. I've seen it amongst all of the Xbox talking heads.
Does Xbox need VR?
Does Xbox need VR? Let's ask the audience, right? Let's stick a poll up in YouTube. You guys let us know. Do you want to see VR?
My thing is though, can they have VR now? Isn't it too late?
No, they could run VR. In terms of, should they have put a USB-C out on the front of the
that's
console?
what I was thinking.
Well, I think if Microsoft wanted to do VR, they would insist on it being wireless. So they would insist.
But then it's not.
Bear with.
Go.
They would insist on proprietary tech to stream it from the console. So you would have the console running the game, but the headset would be receiving the data. Because I think Phil's been quite public, and I'm just reading between the lines. I am spitballing. Yeah. I don't know. That he was like, no one likes having cables, and as a early Rift adopter and then an Oculus Quest user, the difference between the two, even though the Quest is less powerful, the Quest is infinitely better because it's magic and it feels like magic. So I think if Microsoft ever were to go down into that world of virtual reality, they would insist on it being, as a consumer product, as streamlined rather as possible.
Yeah.
So no cable.
He always mentions the cable, doesn't he?
Yeah, because he
always talks about the cable.
Any game where you can spin around, that cable is a freaking nightmare. It really is. It gets really annoying. And as much as I love using Oculus Link with the Quest and plugging into the PC and having those more powerful experiences on that really good screen, you miss the freedom.
John,
you hate being tethered.
I've got the answer for you. It's only $20. It's called Virtual Desktop. And
I've used it. I've used Virtual Desktop.
Flawless.
It's okay.
I love it.
I don't think it's great though. I haven't used it in a while.
I have never had a problem.
Really?
It's it uses HEVC and video codecs now.
Yep.
So way more quality with less bandwidth needed. It is beautiful.
Okay.
If you're wired in. If your computer is wired into the Ethernet. If your computer's on Wi-Fi, so it should be great for you.
Yeah, I'll give it another go because I think this room's got enough space in it now for a good VR experience without.
So would Xbox's version of VR, would it be just a video feed that receives wirelessly from the console? Yeah, they probably wouldn't make a version with hardware in it.
I don't think so. I think they'd make it a streaming device if they were going to do it. If and look, that's a genuine if, right? Sorry, we had to caveat our ifs now.
That's a real if.
And look,
poll is done.
No, the poll's done.
Yeah.
60 votes, 157 people watching, and only 44 likes. Come on. Effectively, Xbox doesn't need PR. 75% of the people that voted said no.
VR.
Yeah.
You said PR. They definitely need PR.
Sorry, did I misspeak? I agree. I don't think Xbox needs VR. Look, I think VR's cool, and it's arguably the technological forefront of unique experiences. And they generate headlines, and they make people go, "Oh, that looks cool." But I know a lot of people that bought a Quest, and I know a lot of people that Quest is gathering dust because
mine is.
Video game players kind of like to just veg out and play video games. Don't want to jump around your room. So
mine is never gets used.
And I've said this before, and I've said this about VR, particularly when it pertains to Xbox, is Xbox fans in generalization here, have had to wait a very, very, very long time for Microsoft to get their ducks in a row and start making critically acclaimed good video games. Do you really want to rock the proverbial boat and switch things up and ask them to focus on 2, 3, including the Series S and X pieces of hardware to start developing stuff on? I think it's a bad call. They'll wait and see before they announce anything.
I mean,
in my opinion.
My thing is, like, Kinect, for example, sold far better than PSVR, which obviously the price point helped, with the second one being bundled in helped. Kinect was arguably hugely successful, particularly the first one.
Yep, definitely.
Microsoft still ditched it.
Yep.
So, to me, that should probably tell you, give you an indicator on hopes for VR. And Kinect blended into the experience. You didn't have to clunk on a thing on your head or whatever. You just played your games like you always played them, except you stood up.
Yeah.
And played them. It was still part of the overall couch gaming experience, for want of a better phrase.
It was
and
a social
Microsoft still,
experience.
yeah, and
It
Microsoft still ditched it.
Yeah.
Like,
it didn't take you away from the room you're in. And that's what, unfortunately, VR does. And it's great when it works. But it's also very insular.
Mm.
Yeah.
But you know what? If Sony can carve themselves out a nice little hardcore profitable niche, great.
Yeah, good for them. 100%.
Good on them.
And the hardware
Nothing
looks
wrong with
great. The hardware looks really, really good.
The controllers look cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All for it.
And it looks like it's going to have some good games on it.
Yeah.
Especially if Alyx comes.
They'll get all the fun PC ports. That's one thing that really does open up. You know, they can get Boneworks on there. The other question of VR is, should Microsoft, this is the other question I've seen, should Microsoft open up, you know, we've said this, open up the store, partner with Oculus, turn Oculus Link on, let people stick a USB cable in, plug it into their Quest, boom. VR
But again,
support.
it's USB-A though. Is that enough?
I think it's USB 2.0 on the consoles.
3.0.
It's 3.0.
Oh,
on
if
the console.
it's 3.0,
It's
yeah, it's
3.0.
fast enough. I've run.
Is
I've
that-
It's
run-
only a 5 gigabyte port, so it's not going to look great.
Yeah, I've run Oculus Link on a 3.0 and it's alright.
Okay.
See, the annoying thing is there's about 5 different types of 3.0. 3.1, like there's pretty much goes by bandwidth speed, 5 gigahertz all the way up to like 20 gigahertz or gigabytes. And I think the Xbox only has the 5, and the PlayStation, I believe, has 10. I'm probably wrong, but the PlayStation was VR ready in that sense, where it's got one really fast USB-C port.
Because they knew that.
And
None of the ones,
And that's what I found odd, that Microsoft didn't put a USB-C into it.
Oh, I found that.
I found that really odd. Like, like their controllers had already switched to USB-C for charging and for plugging in. So I'm like, so you're aware of the technology and you're happy to use it in some of your hardware.
Yeah.
Like the Surfaces have it too. My Surface has a USB-C slot. Like, I found that very strange. And that's when I knew straight away that I was like, okay, so they're not going to bother with VR.
Probably not going to. Yeah.
Like, they're just not going to bother with it.
You know, look, I think we'll be surprised about what they can enable and what they can do with codecs and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah,
compression. Could the VR kit, if they were to hypothetically release one and it's wireless, it has some sort of super duper dongle thing that plugs on and it works. I don't know. I'm not an engineer. But yes, the omission of a 3.1 USB-C port on the front of the console is an odd omission. But if they didn't really want to do it, then they don't. Like I said, they want to focus on just making games for the actual console and not games for
They also don't have Wi-Fi 6, which is what PlayStation 5 has, which would be what you need for wireless. It's infinitely better wireless with the much higher speeds of Wi-Fi 6.
So that's already a kind of another coffin in the idea of wireless.
Another nail in the coffin?
It would have to be a dongle that they sell with their headset. Type of deal.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Maybe the refresh. Maybe the refresh gets it.
Yeah, but then straight away, I mean, then you know, it's the same. It's a similar business problem that PlayStation VR2 faces in that you haven't got that many PS5s out there. Sorry to say, and you
so
can
all of a
barely
sudden
make
you're
enough.
selling this expensive headset.
And it's going to be expensive. What's it? 400? Probably going to be 399.
It'll probably be 300 or 400 on top of a $500 console you can't get. Like,
good luck.
You can't get one right now. So your market for this thing, and that's why people are like, there's a lot of speculation about the release date for this thing, because releasing it now really limits its potential.
Yeah.
Like in a massive way. There's 15, 16 million PS5s out there? Not even? I don't know. So that's it. That's your market. And those people have already just spent $500. I say $500 because I know there is a $400 version, but let's be honest, there's no digital versions out there.
They're not making.
I think I got like one of the only ones. It's all disc versions that you see out there. So I don't think Sony would want to limit the potential market for this thing by releasing it anytime too soon. I reckon they're going to push it as far away as they can to get as many PS5s out there as possible to allow them maximum, I'm not going to use that word, saturation. I was going to use a word that started with P. Not going to use that word, saturation. But yeah, we'll see.
Well, speaking of Sony, we've got a super chat from Angel Palmer. They've asked, do you know of any PlayStation acquisitions in the works? I presume that one's for you, because I don't.
Probably. No. There was one that I like Microsoft. I think Sony are looking, should the opportunity arise. There was one that I had heard may be happening, but that was like, again, people need to understand, there are DMs I forget I have. Like, I've sent it 100 times. I'm old and I forget stuff. There, like I said, the Half-Life Alyx one, completely forgot. That was May last year. There was one I got a DM about that was a maybe, like, ages ago. So I just never said a word about it. And I'm not going to say anything now because it probably hasn't happened. We're now 9 or 10 months later. There's been no rumors of it. There's been no nothing. So as far as I know, Sony's always looking. But I haven't heard of anything remotely definitive for a long time on Sony's acquisitions. But I'm sure they're looking.
As all companies, these conversations are going on all the time.
Yeah. And while we're also talking about VR, Gecko Gamer, my hate for Facebook will only the quest when Zuckerberg... hold on. So I think he's missed a couple of words there. It's a grammatical one. My hate for Facebook... this is what it says word for word. My hate for Facebook will only the quest when Zuckerberg is gone from this world. So
he won't get a quest until Zuckerberg is gone.
He won't get a quest until Zuckerberg's gone. Zuckerberg's a robot. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, he'll live forever.
He's going to live forever, mate. He's a robot.
You mean changing the name of the Oculus Quest to the Meta Quest is something a human would do? That's the actual name of the hardware now. It's so bad.
I know.
Not on mine. I've got one of the original ones. Oh, that becomes a limited edition, doesn't it?
I've got the OG Quest. I don't know if it becomes limited edition or not.
My Oculus Quest 2 is now a limited edition because it says Oculus, not Meta. I should sell it.
But it's funny. I felt bad. Like I had a Quest, and Harmonica, one of the writers for XboxEra, he came round. I think I was doing a barbecue or something. Everyone was having a go on it, and he was like, I'm getting one of these. It's brilliant. And we played a few games together, but I think it's gathering dust for him. But the nail in the coffin for him was, and he hates Facebook. And they were like, we're making Facebook mandatory. He was like, he was a happy man. I wasn't happy about it. I mean, I don't care.
They finally, they turned that off.
Yeah, they have, haven't they?
Not anymore. Yeah.
Dickheads.
Stonks. Fire Monkey stonks.
It's so cool to see Fire Monkey just like, hanging out in the chat, cruising for Fortnite news, hanging out with the boys. Hey, okay. Let's talk about E3. Do you remember E3 all those years ago?
Yeah.
Is it gone? Is it gone forever?
I don't. Well, because all the ESA announced was that they weren't doing an in-person one, isn't it? Isn't that like all they announced? They didn't say anything about a digital replacement. They just said, due to Omicron, it's not going to be an in-person E3. But then a few people on Twitter, journalists or whatever, were like, no. They've known for a while they're not doing E3. Like, they've just used the Omicron thing as an opportunity to be like, oh, well, I guess we're not going to do it this year. Because, I mean... It's one of those things where people love the nostalgia and the
I think it's more, I absolutely hate the idea, and I'm sorry, Jeff. I hate the idea of Jeff and the vehicle of celebrity appearances and annoying music and annoying crappy things that aren't games becoming the new norm. That makes me cringe. Like, I just can't stand it. I don't want to see Summer Games Fest. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear about it. He gets his Game Awards. But I just don't want that to become the new normal. I like my E3 is over this day, and then this week. Everyone knows 3 big conferences plus your publishers, all done and dusted, 3 days.
But at least there's Jeff Grubb's games mess.
Oh yeah, that's the one flip side is we do have the wonderful fun of the games mess, which is now in its third year of nonsense.
I told him he missed an event on his games mess list. He missed one.
The third annual Grubsmas.
The third annual Grubsmas holiday specialtacular is not on his list. He'll have to add that, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, the child in me, the person that I know they're just adverts for products. Get excited for the next product.
They're just ads. That's all they are.
E3 was fun. E3 was a communal gamer Christmas. I don't care what people say. If you want to be all like above it and like, it was fun. It was good to see the crazy predictions and the ridiculous leaks.
That's the Game Awards now. That's just the Game Awards now.
And it's even worse. I mean, who really enjoyed sitting through the Game Awards? Like, were you like me and you just thought, I'm not watching 4 hours of this nonsense. I'll wake up in the morning and just watch the trailers I want to see.
I watched it because the thing about the Game Awards, but this is probably just maybe unique to me. The thing about the Game Awards is that it's at a really, really, really great time for Australia.
Yeah.
Like it starts at like midday. It starts at midday. It's like amazing. Like, so for me, it's like I just have it on in the background. Like it was on a Friday at midday. So I just literally had it on in the background while I was working right here. And then it's like, oh, I'm hearing in the background, world premiere. Cool. I'll rotate my chair and watch this trailer. And so for me, it was great. But I don't think the time is great for a lot of other places. I think the US and Australia are like the only 2 countries that get it at a really good time.
It's awful. And yeah, I'm not watching something like. I think it started at 1 a.m. I mean, it's just not tenable.
Yeah, that's right. So, what time is it for you now? Midnight?
Yeah, it's just ticked over midnight.
That's right. So it starts at 1 a.m. for you. It starts at midday for me because it's 11 in the morning here for me. So,
not happening.
Yeah, great.
I'm not doing it, Jeff. I'm not doing it. Go fish.
So, what time does it start in the US?
5,
was like
6 p.m.
No, it started at 7:30 with the pre-show, and the main show was at 8.
The pre-show. Come on.
Oh yeah, that pre-show where they announce a bunch of the awards and show a bunch of the trailers.
Yeah, get rid of it. Yeah,
in
this
the
is
pre-show.
It's ridiculous. Don't. It makes me cross.
I think I would like him to structure it better. And maybe shorten it a tad.
He won't. He won't shorten it. Do you know why?
Oh, I'm aware he won't. I'm just saying, like,
people will watch it, and he gets loads of advertising revenue from it.
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah.
It looks like E3's on life support.
Yeah, definitely. And that's a shame. Saying that,
yeah.
Phil is on the ESA board, right? So he helps run it. Maybe he'll push for it to come back to life. I think he a lot of people like meeting in LA. That's the other aspect of it. It's a great networking event for people in the industry, new jobs, new roles, to actually see people you haven't seen in a while. I've seen a lot of people lamenting in the industry that they don't get to do that again this year. Mm-hmm. So, maybe it will come back purely driven by people that miss that aspect.
It may take a new form. Maybe.
Yeah. Indeed.
Maybe it becomes more of a GDC style thing.
Yeah, could do. Well, that's
so they don't open it up to the public, and they don't. So it's not this public thing that's all about trailers and da-da-da. It is a networking. Maybe it just becomes a networking event.
Yeah.
Just one big video game Christmas party with all the work friends.
Yeah. The thing is, I've always wanted to go at least once in my life to E3. So it needs to come back so I can tick that off the old bucket list. Like, imagine a year from now, next year, XboxEra, we're all driving our Ferraris and living the dream. And we think, let's do a group event, and we'll all go get a bunch of passes, and we'll all finally, because we're all working remotely, half of us have never met each other in real life.
No.
All meet and actually go to E3. I mean, that would be cool.
What if we do our own event?
XboxEra's E3. Sign
What
up a
if
bunch of
we do
publishers.
one? What if we become big enough where we just like, don't worry about E3, don't worry about the Game Awards, come to the Xbox Era Entertainment Expo. Man, wouldn't that be massive?
I've got a good idea.
Okay, go on.
We all get meta quests and we meet in the metaverse.
Yeah, we all get our quests.
Yeah, no, I'll pass.
And we sell tickets online. And like Twitter Spaces.
And then in 3 years,
but meta
there'll
spaces,
be a documentary
and we
called...
sell tickets and we walk around, punch each other up. That'd be great.
It'll be like that Firefest documentary.
The Firefest
festival that they planned that just went horribly wrong.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
what
that'd
will
be
happen.
good. XE3. XE3. Look at the layers on that title. XE3 because E3's not around anymore. It's like an X.
Yeah.
Xbox Era Entertainment Expo. XE, mate.
Dumb.
This event creates itself.
It's written itself.
Massive.
It's already happening. Yeah, sell a bunch of NFTs.
Basically confirmed.
Yeah.
So the ticket doubles as an NFT. So we use like massive server farms to create one ticket per person.
And people can just right click and copy paste the
right
ticket.
click and copy the ticket.
Yeah.
So everyone gets a ticket.
All right,
Mate.
okay. That's enough of this silly tangent. Did you know that Undead Labs appear to be building a dedicated animation studio with Unreal Engine 5?
So that would be a sub-studio of Undead Labs, wouldn't it? Or would this be a studio that all the studios tap into? Because they're doing a lot of that cross-pollination stuff now.
Yeah.
Xbox first-party studios. So is this a studio that's part of Undead Labs, or are members of Undead Labs creating a separate studio for everyone at Xbox Studios?
I want to believe it's the latter, but I want to also think that it's probably initially being specifically created to come up with engineering systems for State of Decay 3, which I presume, by extension,
sounds like it's
is
on
now
Unreal
using
Engine 5.
Unreal Engine 5, right? So, yeah. And I think, and that excites me, right? Because State of Decay 1 and 2 were games that I wish I could like, but I'm not.
Yeah, I know.
They're not my jam because...
Yep.
For me, cooperative play is the most important aspect. State of Decay 1 didn't have it. State of Decay 2 didn't do it very well. I hope they get it right with State of Decay 3, but imagine a zombie-infested city to the scale and detail of the Unreal Engine 5 demo, and I start to get
and
excited
just
at
strip
the
back
ideas.
some of those systems, like strip back some of those really...
They allowed you to in 2 now. You have full control on how much of those systems you want to interact with, pretty much.
Okay.
You know,
I remember just starting to thinking, okay, hopefully they've, buffed it up from the first one and it's this, and I started playing it and then I was just like, oh my God, this is
isn't for
another
me.
job. It's another job. Like, oh, the water's dirty. Oh, this is happening. I'm like, ugh. All I wanted to do was go out, kill zombies, and maybe bring some survivors back and get some food and, maybe do a little bit of survivor management back at the base. But again, to the level, these two people are fighting. You got to sort it out. I'm like, oh my God, that's high school. I don't want to sort out 2 of my friends fighting like at high school. Like,
to be honest, the element I want them to bring in is purely social. Like, so I don't know if you guys had PCs at the time of the DayZ mod where it was really at its peak, and it was interesting because there was permadeath, right? So this was before battle royales and all of that came in, and I think it was the beginning of this journey, right, into permadeath and one life modes and stuff like that. But I had some of the best gaming experiences, similar to, in a way that Sea of Thieves kind of generates these stories, right, that you tell, where you're given a bunch of systems and you just go off. And I've encountered so many crazy moments, and I love the idea of a State of Decay 3 being not about managing survivors, but about managing my own survival and the survival if I grouped with friends and we've got our own place and server in a similar way to Ark, but not in a way that people can come and raid your server when you're out. Like, there has to be a sensible way of making this not a job too much and allowing some people to go off and do real life stuff and not have to just live in the game. But I that's the area where I want to have that kind of like, you know, what are you doing? Okay, I'm going to secure the water supply. I'm going to go hunt for forage for food, and managing a base together with friends. That's where I want to land. But the idea
hope it's good.
All of these animation systems coming to life and Unreal Engine 5 and the possibilities that brings.
Well, apparently, where is it? I just saw it. Zach M. Someone on Resetera just found they recruited the guy who ran EA's Frostbite push, and his LinkedIn says it's to cooperate with all the studios. Excellent. So it could be an Xbox animation studio using Unreal Engine 5. I hope so. That would be better, I feel.
It's a very good idea.
But to me, if they're building a dedicated Unreal Engine 5 animation studio, that sounds like a lot of their games going forward will be using Unreal Engine 5. Because why would you build an entire studio if the majority of your games aren't going to be using Unreal Engine 5?
Yeah. Well, they've got mocap studios thanks to Ninja Theory and stuff like that, right? So I think this is just another tightening of that ship. And I think Cade Forever's just put a super chat in that kind of touches on this, right? Piggybacking off what you guys are talking about, he writes, why do you think Xbox or Phil has taken so long to create or buy support studios who specialize in animation, engineering, networking, and so on?
Well, I mean, it's an interesting question because they've always used Unreal Engine for a lot of their games, going all the way back to Gears, which I know Gears wasn't theirs at the time, but even back then, I think some of their games were using Unreal.
UE3 was very friendly on the 360 in terms of being.
And then they used UE4 a lot.
Yep. Sea of Thieves, Fable.
My guess is they're trying to get in on the ground floor with 5.
Yeah.
So they already have 2 or 3 games right now, maybe even 4 or 5 games right now in development that are using Unreal Engine 5. So they're like, okay, Unreal Engine 5 is going to be the predominant or dominant engine for the next probably 10 years.
Yep.
Let's get in on the ground floor. Let's make ourselves the experts of it. Set up an animation studio. We've already got the coalition that know how to exploit it like nobody's business.
Yep.
Let's get in on the ground floor and become the experts of Unreal Engine 5 outside of Epic themselves.
Yeah. Which is really cool. When Epic are working on a UE5 demo and they go to the coalition for assistance in optimization, it sings pretty highly of their skill level on that engine, right?
Well, I think that's the one thing.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say that's the one thing you couldn't question with Coalition. I mean, question a lot of things about the Coalition, but if there's one thing you couldn't, it was their ability to maximize Unreal Engine.
Yeah, and it's not unheard of as well. Like Lionhead back in the day came up with some global illumination tech from memory for Fable Legends. I know the game didn't come out, and funnily enough, I recall a tweet from Clobberell earlier this week where he was like lamenting that, hey, it was pretty much done and it was quite fun to play. I have differing thoughts, Clob. Love you, bro. But I know some people that worked on that game, and I had some very frank discussions with them, like, why? Like, was this a mandate? Like, why? And they were like, I can't really talk about that. But reading between the lines, like, yeah, it's not exactly what they wanted to make. Poor Lionhead. And Microsoft reflected on that, right? Yeah, we wish we'd not had to do that. That's one of the most painful things, was shutting down that studio, right?
Allegedly, it was a very pretty game, though.
It was very pretty. It was very pretty, but it was very niche, and I did not see success in its future at all.
No one's really managed to crack that 3v1 thing or 4v1 thing, have they?
Because
no one has managed to crack it.
Dead by Daylight.
Oh, okay.
It's not a great game. It's unbelievably popular.
Yeah, that's true. It is, yeah.
So, yeah. I can see as well we've got another super chat from Gecko. Someone take away Gecko's wallet. John, what you are describing sounds a lot like the Stalker games, full of stories. I haven't actually played Stalker. It's on my list before Stalker 2 comes out to at least dip my toes into that world. So I'll I'll take you up on that one and get back to you, Gecko. Let you know what I think.
And speaking of Unreal 5, we are getting an Unreal 5 engine game this year in Redfall, oddly enough.
Interesting times. That's
the one that looks like a 360 game. You sure it's on Unreal Engine 5? You sure about that? Looks like a 360.
We're not judging
internet
immediately
said so.
off of pre-rendered, like early gen footage.
No,
We're not just jumping to conclusions on something that was never meant to be publicly seen. We're not doing that, surely.
No.
Oh, okay. I can see a comment in the chat, not a super chat, but just that 343 need more support studios from Justy Spud. They do have some.
Do they?
They do have some support studios.
They're a pretty big studio. Like,
They do have some, though.
one of the biggest in the world, aren't they? 343?
Big
Maybe
in
one
terms
of the
of they have
biggest
to
in the
manage a
world.
lot of other things, transmedia stuff. But yeah.
Yep.
And God, there's so many things to talk about this week compared to last week, which was like a complete snooze fest. And we still
I
managed
found
to
a lot of
2.5
that stuff at the
hour
last
podcast.
minute. For a while there, I was struggling to put together that run sheet.
Well, we've also got the news that Fallout TV show might be moving into production. And what really raised my eyebrows was that Jonathan Nolan might be on board. That is promising because, yeah, he's written some pretty good stuff with Christopher Nolan, who directed like Dunkirk and
Yeah.
what's it called? Come on, Dream
Christopher
One,
Nolan.
Inception.
Oh, Inspection.
Inception.
Yeah,
I said Inspection.
And Tenet.
You said
Tenet was a bit-
Inspection.
Inspection.
Tenet, I still haven't fully seen Tenet. I started falling asleep 20 minutes in.
I need to watch
So
it
I'm
again.
like, yeah, I need to
Very
give
good.
this another go.
Yeah,
You need to pay attention, but it's very good.
I didn't love it the first time I watched it. It was the first Nolan film where I'm like, what?
Interstellar.
Interstellar was incredible.
I liked Interstellar.
Are you talking about Christopher Nolan or Jonathan Nolan?
They're
wait.
brothers, so I think he's worked and writing a lot of.
Yeah, his
stories.
main.
I
his
thought
big
we were
things
talking
for-
about-
Yeah, his big things for TV are like Point of Interest and Westworld.
Westworld, yeah. Yeah.
Westworld's great. Westworld's really good. Yeah, well, hopefully it's a good show. The Halo show is looking good, so I have hope for.
We get to see more of that soon.
Hope so.
And it's coming out like soon, right? It's not fall 2022. It's like spring 2022. So that's
It's
hope
their
so.
big prestige thing. They're holding it back for when they go global with Paramount Plus. It's
Yeah.
going to be on like Sky over there. It's going to be a lot in Europe and more North and South America, and that's when Halo will hit.
awesome. Yeah,
I just
And
realised
that's
it's funny we
enough.
mentioned. It's funny I mentioned Halo and Paramount because that actually relates a little bit to the rumor mill. A little bit.
Well, hey, is it that time?
Yeah.
It is.
I can hit the button.
Oh my god!
I'm dreading.
Okay.
I'm dreading what the comments are going to be about this one, though.
So
Well-
an hour and 18 in is when our view counts will spike up tremendously.
Well,
And then
well,
they'll
we'll
just
see.
be like,
And then you'll get lots of hate mail. Before we hit the button, I have to just say a big thank you to our patron Creaky Legs, who has made the music, which is obviously copyright free, for the new Rumourmill jingle. Let us know what you think. I'm up for recording hilarious different monologues, making a bunch of them just for laughs. So if anyone has any fun ideas for scripts, I'll do them. I literally did this in 15 seconds earlier today. Hit the button.
What's that? I can't hear you. Oh, Xbox bought who? Sony did what? Nintendo? That's right, people. It's the rumor mill.
I hope you enjoyed that.
okay.
It was very
Yep.
silly. I sent that to Nick and he was just like, oh my god, that's awful.
Yeah, I said
And
that
I was
is
like,
the
yeah,
worst.
right.
I was like, that is the worst.
Yeah. And it probably
Okay.
helps that I've got a really sore throat because I was all like, Nintendo.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Sony did what?
Okay. So
Hit us up.
it works out well that iFireMonkey was in the chat because I wasn't gonna do this. I honestly, when when my source reached out to me and he's like, "Oh, I've got some interesting Fortnite news for you," I'm like, "Oh no, not Fortnite again. People are going to think I'm making this stuff up if I mention Fortnite again." And he's like, "Oh, it's interesting news." I was like, "Oh, okay. I love Fortnite, so I'm happy to go with Fortnite, but most of our community don't seem to care about Fortnite." Already I've seen straight away there's a comment, "No Fortnite." I'm like, whoa, I'm sorry. I received more Fortnite news, and I do like Fortnite. And now Firemonkey watches our podcast, so he cares about Fortnite. So I did get told, so we were talking about Paramount Plus, obviously, or Paramount because of the Halo show and whatever. I've been told that apparently Paramount has signed a deal with Epic to bring properties to Fortnite. The main one that I had heard about was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles coming to Fortnite, which would be amazing. I will buy them so fast. Oh man, Ninja Turtles in Fortnite. Can you imagine how cool that would be?
Well, they'd suit the Unreal Engine rather well.
They would be so good. But it does. If they've done the deal with Paramount, it obviously opens the door. So for example, we got 2 Venoms. We got 3 Spider-Men, 2 Venoms, movie Venom and Marvel Venom, like Venom. So I think to myself, we've already had Chief. Do we get Halo TV show Chief? So do we get a separate Chief that's part of the TV show? What other properties do Paramount have? I think Star Trek.
Yeah.
Could get Star Trek. We've had Star Wars.
Interesting.
I think we'll probably get Star Trek. I don't know. Maybe it opens the door for other crazy stuff. South Park, Peppa Pig. Can you imagine
Peppa Pig?
Can you imagine Peppa Pig in Fortnite?
I don't know if Peppa Pig will happen. Like, there's usually things for using kid-friendly properties running around with guns. Don't know about Peppa Pig.
Yeah.
Don't know about Peppa Pig, but
South Park.
Beavis and Butthead.
South Park would most certainly fit in.
Wow. Bunch of Cartman skins running around.
Oh, could you imagine? But I think the main one that was sort of semi-confirmed for me was the Ninja Turtles. That was the one that I cared about the most.
Wow.
Yeah,
I think that's the one that really would suit, I think.
Ninja Turtles in Fortnite would sell, and if they get the right emotes too and do it properly, straight away, as soon as I was told, I started having visions of emotes from the original arcade game. So Michelangelo, or maybe Michelangelo has an emote, pizza time, and it's got Chun-Li, for example, has an emote where she does her wind. I can't even remember the bloody name of it. The multi-kick thing. Yeah. And they use the original audio from Street Fighter 2. So I reckon it'd be cool if they did the Ninja Turtles in Fortnite and then use the original audio from that arcade game, like Pizza Time and who turned out the lights? So you have one of them fall into the ground like they're falling into a manhole. Then you have, come on, man, the possibilities. Fire Monkey, come on, tell me. Ninja Turtles are awesome, right? In Fortnite, come on. They have to be awesome, surely.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to reply. I know he's there, so hopefully he replies.
I think it's a good shout.
You guys missed the best property that they could bring in.
What's the best property they could bring in?
The Godfather. The Vito Corleone running around.
You reckon they would?
Wouldn't. But it would be hilarious if they did.
See, Fire Monkey, I'd buy it ASAP. Oh yeah, I would buy the 3,000 V-Buck bundle. And you know what I love that Epic does? They do this really funny thing where they put the price, which is say 2,800 V-Bucks, but they put a slash through the original price being 3,500 V-Bucks to make you think there's a discount. That's just the price. But I am sure that Ninja Turtles will probably be like this bundle. You can either buy the individual turtles for sure. They'll do it that way, where you buy the individual turtles and maybe...
Yeah.
Oh, man. And they've already got the harvesting weapons, so Mikey would have nunchucks to break everything with. Oh, yeah, God. They'd be
that's the one that I think
so cool.
Most assuredly work. But if Paramount own Nickelodeon, then you could go. I mean, there's loads of
SpongeBob?
cartoons. Yeah, SpongeBob. Would they let? That's the thing. The only thing I think that is the
Yeah, but Ninja Turtles is kids' property.
That's true. That is true. I suppose Peppa Pig and Ninja Turtles are a world apart, right? So
Yeah.
but yeah.
I reckon that'd be cool as. Like, the rest I don't care, Star Trek, if they all come or whatever. Ninja Turtles, man. I am throwing away so much money on those. Like,
Well,
what
there
else
you
does
go.
Paramount have?
I can't.
Paramount has a lot.
There's a,
So
it's a
much.
big bet.
Isn't Paramount Mission Impossible?
Yes.
Ooh.
Aye.
Could you
There's a
imagine?
new MI film coming out next year, isn't there?
Yes.
There's another-
Ethan Hunt.
Yeah, Ethan Hunt, all of those guys. You have the theme tune.
That could. Yeah, I just realized the Mission Impossible one that fits. Nice.
Yeah.
And the emotes like dun 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 dun. Oh,
Yeah.
come on.
The sizzling, like.
Where
fuse
is
and
my wallet to throw it at the screen?
No, they.
Transformers. Oh, hold on a second.
That's a game changer. They don't have
Could you
Indiana Jones.
imagine?
Indiana Jones is Disney and.
Yeah, Indiana Jones is Disney. But Transformers. Oh wow, that would be massive.
There you go.
Could you
Yeah,
imagine?
it's all of Hasbro Pictures, so it's like all Hasbro toys, essentially.
Oh, I didn't even think of all those.
Be a very interesting
Transformers.
deal if that gets signed, right? So
Yeah.
yeah. Well, there you
No,
go.
well, I got told the deal's already been signed between
Wow.
Paramount and Epic.
Oh,
So
okay.
I guess now they work on which ones are we going to bring to Fortnite. The only one I'm aware of that's basically definite is the Ninja Turtles. The rest were all like possibilities.
Beer Baron, Nick is excited for Fortnite. People
Yeah.
in the chat, aka Fire Monkey, is excited for Fortnite.
I love Fortnite.
I am. Not
I love
excited for Fortnite.
I
They
love
made
this.
There Will Be Blood, so I'd be excited if they put Daniel Plainview into Fortnite. I think that would
I've never seen that movie.
you should. It's
Oh,
great.
I haven't seen There Will Be Blood.
I've
I
been
hear
going
it's
through
good.
Yeah,
I hear it's good.
Oh,
I've
it's
been
an
going through a
all-timer.
massive movie binge. I
Fantastic.
watched Gangs of New York as well the other day. Just again, Daniel Day.
I haven't seen that.
Dude.
I haven't seen that either.
Dude.
I haven't seen
I thought you were
Shawshank.
a cinemaphile. Come on.
I haven't seen Shawshank.
Okay.
No, I haven't seen
Stop
Shawshank.
the podcast. This man
and
hasn't
I'm-
seen Shawshank Redemption.
And I'm purposely avoiding Shawshank now because everyone has built it up so much, right? That I know it cannot possibly live up to how everyone has built it up.
Okay, I'm going to go out. Oh, no, I can't say that. I'll get cancelled for it. I can't say that. Okay, I'm going to say it. I don't care. People can cancel me. The reason Shawshank is the best movie of all time is that it's a bro movie. It's about bros. There's no ladies in it. It's all about the bros. That's why it's the best movie of all time. And in fact, a lot of the best movies of all time are just bro movies. I don't know why it is. But honestly, you've got to watch Shawshank. It is the ultimate brothers movie. Like bros as in really close friends. Best buds. It's perfect. It's a
I don't know,
perfect
man.
film.
Bridesmaids is pretty good.
I love Bridesmaids. Fantastic film. That's
Bridesmaids is a hilarious.
Bridesmaids is a
movie.
comedy. Shawshank
I know.
but
It's also
literally the
a
ultimate bro movie.
sisters movie. And
Yeah.
that's why I was so looking forward to the Ghostbusters movie in 2016 because it had all the actresses from Bridesmaids. So I'm like, okay, this is going to be hilarious. And then I watched it and I'm like, oh, it's not. I'm like, okay, this really wasn't that good at all.
Do you know what?
And
I'm gonna watch
Hemsworth
it.
was in it and I'm like, oh, this is going to be an amazing movie. It's got Kristen Wiig and it's got Melissa McCarthy and Hemsworth. I'm like, this is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And it was not.
The thing is,
all.
it wasn't not amazing because, and a lot of people are like, oh, it's just, like they call it really woke and it had women. It just wasn't a great movie. And that's
No, it
okay.
wasn't that. It was just
It was
not
just okay.
good. I love all
Shawshank
those
is
actresses.
fine.
Like I said,
Stop typing,
Bridesmaids Bridesmaids was fantastic. Bridesmaids was
I'd laugh my head off.
I laughed so much in Bridesmaids. It was unbelievable. Like of those Adam McKay, Judd Apatow, all those guys, of that crew's movies, 40-Year-Old Virgin, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, all of it. Bridesmaids is like right up there, like probably top 5 with all of those. Like Bridesmaids is amazing.
Nick, do me a favour.
Yep.
Can you watch Shawshank Redemption before the next podcast? Can you just do it for me? Let's talk about it next week. I feel like we need to. Bro, get busy living or get busy dying. All right.
Which streaming service is it on? I have all of them.
It'll probably be
Which
on
one's it
all 4 or something like that. Oh wait, I'm in the UK.
I don't think it's on Netflix.
No, it's
is
not
it on
Netflix.
Amazon? Is it on? Actually, the only one I don't have is Paramount Plus, so I hope it's not on that one. It's the only one I don't have.
I'll find out when.
There's an Aussie one called Stan. Hopefully, it's on Stan.
I typed it into the Google box and the hell is Foxtel Now and Binge?
Oh, my subscription to that one just lapsed. Like in the last, I was getting it for free because of Uber Eats. So because I use Uber Eats way more than any human should, I was getting 2 months of free Binge constantly. So I had like a year of Binge for free that I didn't pay a cent for. And it just ran out. It just literally ran out in the last month or so.
It also says iTunes, but I'm not sure if that's like you can rent it there or what.
Yeah, you can buy it, I imagine.
Yeah.
But
okay.
yeah, I mean, dude, just like we'll find a way. But please, like you could just get it.
Okay.
Just sit down. It's a perfect movie. It's really good.
Okay.
It's on Netflix in North America apparently, and HBO Max has it to stream.
Yeah, but he's not in North America.
Yeah, North America. But from what Jesse just said, in Australia, Foxtel got it. So I'll work something out.
I did see there's a couple of super chats that we should tackle. One from Georgie, who was bringing up one of the Playground Games co-founders left.
Oh, I forgot to put that in the notes. I was going to put it in and I totally forgot.
Well, now we can thank Georgie for bringing it or reminding us that it was a thing.
Yes.
It wasn't.
I actually did legitimately want to talk about this.
Yes. So okay, let's talk about it.
It worries me.
Does it?
It worries me. Yeah. Like, I just find it odd that so many of these studio heads, founders, co-founders are leaving not long after acquisition. It worries me.
3 years after. That's the normal contract length.
Yeah.
That's right, which means they didn't want to hang around.
Well, they probably made millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Or pounds.
I guess so, but I don't know. I don't know. I'll be interested to see if a lot of these Sony studio heads leave a few years after the acquisitions. Let's see if that happens.
Well, there's only one co-founder, and there was like 3. There's Ralph Fulton. I can't remember what was the co-founder that actually left.
I thought it was Ralph Fulton.
No, it wasn't Ralph. Ralph didn't leave.
What? You sure?
Who was it? Come on.
Yeah, we haven't heard of before.
Yeah,
Gavin
it was
Rayburn,
like an
I
unknown
think.
name.
Oh.
Yeah, Gavin Rayburn, Trevor Williams, and Ralph Fulton were the 3.
It was Trevor Williams. Was it?
Yeah,
No.
I think it was. Let me see which one. It's definitely not Ralph.
I thought it was Ralph that left.
I'm
Gavin Rayburn.
pretty sure it's
left.
Gavin Rayburn. Yeah, the first one I
Yeah.
said.
Trevor Williams is now heading up the studio instead of Gavin.
Okay.
So
I hope it's fine. I noticed it was happening a lot, like in quick succession from a few of them, and I'm like, it seems weird.
yeah,
I hope,
but he's
you know who
probably
I
made
hope doesn't
an
leave?
insane amount of money. Like
You know who I hope
and
doesn't
people
leave?
said enjoy your retirement. Like
Yeah, I
I'm
guess
not-
so.
at the end of the day, it's just a job, right? As long as you've built the right culture there, the studio's going to live. It's not
I
going to
know,
send
and you
away.
hire the right people and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
The one who I hope doesn't leave is Mikami from Tango. I'm worried about him leaving.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit worried about him leaving. Georgie Fulton is their creative director of Fable. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we've got
99 Rukin.
Yeah.
Yep. If Microsoft were to acquire Paramount, could we see more games made into TV shows or movies? Even if your answer is no, what shows or movies do you want? I don't see Microsoft acquiring Paramount.
Yeah, Paramount don't have any game development studios for one.
I assume they'd be acquiring Paramount purely to get back into the TV and movie business.
If that were to ever happen, which...
If.
Yeah, that's a
That
big
is
if.
a huge if.
Yeah. But
What
show or
TV
movie?
shows or movies? Well, we're getting Halo. We're allegedly still getting Gears. We're now getting Fallout.
As excited as I am for Halo, the TV show, I'm also like, ugh, because it's not. It doesn't sound like it's going to be what I want, and
No?
I am very wary of, because everyone's got their own idea of what's important to them. Like, if it were
Kind of
me-
like the games.
yeah, like, have you ever read The Flood, the book of the game?
I don't read books.
It's almost like the Master Chief runs and reloads a gun and shoots a dude, and then they just insert some really lame B plot to fill out the book with this general guy. But it's not great. Whereas Fall of Reach as a book is really interesting because it talks about the.
I read half that.
Well done, good for you. But that's the movie I wanted to see, and I'm hoping desperately that the TV show kind of does the classic TV show thing where they flash back to when they're kids and they're training and they're getting operated on and pumped full of drugs and all this sort of stuff. So we actually see some of that character development. But for me, in that movie world, seeing it get to the end and the cliffhanger should be the destruction of Reach and the Pillar of Autumn blind jumping into slipspace, or not blind jumping as it turns out. Cortana kind of guessed the coordinates based on some data they found that led her to Halo. That's what I want to see. But I don't think I'm ever going to see that. So,
Sometimes with shows and movies, you have to think outside the box. Like, you think about a movie or a TV show for Xbox and you immediately go to Halo, Gears, this, that, the other. If you get the right writers and you get the right showrunner, you can create a good show or movie out of almost anything.
oh yeah,
Like,
for sure.
I could envision, why not do a Netflix animated Battletoads? Again, don't worry about the game. Don't worry about the game. The in-between game cutscenes were okay.
Yeah.
And I could see that being fleshed out into a kids' TV show that's got some adult humour to it.
Yeah.
How about a TV show? Now, I know you're going to all hold back your laughter, or maybe not hold it back at all. But how about Bleeding Edge as a TV show?
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to think outside the box. Someone could write a cool Bleeding Edge TV show.
Yeah. There's lots of stuff where you think like Fable as a TV show could work really, really well about a young guy.
It would be their Witcher.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lots of things can work in that way. Skyrim.
Banjo.
Banjo
cartoon.
Yeah.
Viva Pinata had a cartoon. Bring that back.
Oh, Viva Pinata. Lovely. Ah,
Viva Pinata.
Conquer. That'd be good. There's a lot of movies. It's a very movie-centric episode of the XboxEra podcast. I love it.
Yeah.
But hey, we're at that time in the show where it's a good time to say, if you're watching right now, why haven't you clicked like on this podcast? Especially if you're watching and you're not subscribed, you should probably click that too. And if you really like the show, you can support us on Patreon. XboxEra is on Patreon. You can support us there. And our patrons are responsible for all of the cool stuff that we get to do. And they also get exclusive access to ask us some community questions, which I think we'll look to dive into.
Yes.
So I'll let Jesse put up the
Kate
patrons'
Forever, though,
names.
quickly.
Big thank you to
Kate
those
Forever
guys.
has a very quick super chat. I thought I'd chuck in before we start.
Yeah.
Banjo Kazooie Saturday morning cartoon. For sure.
I'd probably watch it.
I reckon it could work.
Yeah. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
But let's dive into our community questions now. See what people are asking. I sense a lot of VR questions coming our way, but let's see.
Yes, there are. Okay. First one. DirtyFlint. Hello, my little swag champs. With PSVR2 on the way, what's your views on VR?
Please see earlier in the podcast.
I feel like we covered that rather extensively
Yeah.
earlier in the show.
I think so.
I am open to VR, as evidenced by the fact that I bought an Oculus Quest 2 after being hounded by John and Figments for how long about it. And Gus as well. I got an Oculus Quest 2.
You guys
It's
need to
okay.
get premium bowling, and then we can all just bowl together, and it's really fun.
I bought the table tennis one. And there was another one I got on sale semi-recently, but I haven't played it. Pistol Whip's really fun.
Pistol Whip's cool.
I like
Really
Pistol
good game.
Whip.
Super Hot VR is fantastic.
Yes.
I
it
also like certain experiences via the browser that you get.
No.
is. Nick, that's not appropriate to say that on.
I
on
didn't
my
even say
podcast.
anything. I said there's certain experiences via
Yeah,
the
well,
browser
I look
that
forward
could
to
be
that
really,
being
really
clipped
good.
later on.
I even showed my wife those experiences. She found them rather confronting. Very interesting.
Very interesting. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. TomRaptor. Hi guys, Happy New Year. Piggybacking on DirtyFlint's question regarding PSVR2, as cool as it is, I am so glad Xbox are not following suit, as we have seen what happens to the amount of core games that were released when they were trying to support Kinect. You could say, but Xbox only had 5 studios then. Now they have 23. They surely could support such a diversion. You would be forgetting Game Pass and how hungry it is. It needs all teams to feed it constantly to keep it satiated. Realizing none of that is really a question, so I'll ask for your hopes for this new year. Could be for yourself and your own personal growth, or maybe where you hope XboxEra to go. I feel like we've had this question asked of us so many times lately.
I think there was a New Year question in a similar vein.
Resolutions, predictions for 2022, goals for 2022. I reckon we've had this asked a lot. And I mean, we definitely have spoken about where we'd like XboxEra to go.
Yeah.
We would like to be able to do this as a full-time job.
job.
As a job. I don't want to do my day job. I would rather do this as a day job. And then it opens the door for more podcasts. It opens the door for more podcast appearances. It opens the door for all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
That is what we'd like. We'd like XboxEra to be in a position where it becomes our full-time job, ideally.
I've been quite poorly this week, and I woke up at 3 a.m. or I couldn't sleep and I was still awake, and my wife woke up, and we ended up having one of those kind of weird philosophical discussions that you have at stupid o'clock in the morning. And I was talking about, like, you know, I'm 37, right? I know that seems quite
Still
young
young.
to you, Nick. I
Still
look
young.
a lot older. It's a lot grey.
Whippersnapper.
But the fundamental fact is, regardless, I have a financial responsibility to my family, to my kids, my house, my mortgage, blah, 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 blah. If Xbox Era never made it, I would have to do what I do, or something to the equivalent of what I do, for 30 plus more years. 30, like, that's the majority of my life that I've lived thus far.
I know.
Doing that. But this is where the passion is, right? So it's a real gut wrenching feeling. And the more that this grows, and the more that this becomes, you know, there's a tipping point coming. And there's going to be serious questions like, what do we do when that tipping point arrives? Having said that, there are some new faces that are going to be coming on to help us achieve that growth this year, and hopefully we'll have more to say about that next week. But yeah, it's fun, it's exciting, but that's what we want. 100%. That would be the dream.
Yep.
To be able to just be like, this is my day job. The amount of shows and new things that we could do, like, just because the time is now available.
That's right. Be cool, as.
It'd be amazing.
Be really cool.
Fortunately, I earn too much money, so there's a long way off of my real job. It's difficult. It's a difficult one. So yeah, fun times. But yeah, good question.
Okay. Cade Forever. Hello, you beautiful Neanderthals. So PSVR2 was announced. I'll just say it. Does Xbox need one? Me and various other XboxEra friends have said it would be more beneficial to just open the platform to support other VR headsets, such as the Vive and Index. That way you could have multiple price tiers for choosing a VR headset, and you would also get the games associated with those headsets. Half-Life Alyx, anyone? And maybe acquire a studio or two to make games for said headsets. Others want Xbox to make their own. I think that would be a waste of time and resources. However, as the exposed, terrible human being Kevin Spacey once said, life is a marathon, and you cannot win a marathon without putting a few band-aids on your nipples. Yeah, I mean, again, we've had this discussion numerous times, and we've had it today.
Yeah.
Um,
I agree. Opening it up is the best way to go.
Probably. We've said that in the past, like way in the past. We're like, they're better off just allowing people to plug in and use the existing headsets.
Yeah.
Rather than doing their own. But, yeah. Who knows?
Indeed.
We'll see. Morventhus. Hello all, pick one or both. Favourite anime? What do we look like?
I mean, I watch a lot of anime. I admit it. I'm not afraid. I'll say it.
Okay, go on. You answer first then, Jesse. Like, what counts as anime? I've seen some anime.
Anime is literally just a word for cartoon in Japan. It's any animated
right.
thing made in Japan.
I used to watch anime when I was a teenager and a little bit into my early 20s. I liked Vampire Hunter D, Ninja Scroll, Akira.
I've seen.
Yeah, Battle Angel Alita.
They don't get
watched
to be
the
as
movie.
violent anymore, so you probably wouldn't be that into them. They realize kids.
Oh,
watch
really?
them
No,
all the time,
back
so-
then. Oh,
yeah, they
back then
they
were
finally
so
put laws
violent.
against the violence. Yeah,
Oh, really? Oh, no. The
because they
Ninja
realize it's
Scroll
mostly
was the-
consumed by kids. So the movies
yeah,
can be
like-
very violent, but the actual show.
Oh, can they? Oh, okay. Because I remember there's this moment in Ninja Scroll where he's like this big, massive dude. Because you know how the bad guys are always like giants. And he like cuts off someone's arm or something and like.
No, he
starts
rips their
drinking
arms
the-
off. He just rips
Yeah.
them off and starts drinking.
That's
their blood.
right.
It's a demon.
And starts drinking the blood straight out of the arm. And I watched that when I was like 17. Like, I was like, this is full on.
Yeah, that one's
But
extremely
Ninja Scroll,
gory.
Ninja Scroll was great. Ninja Scroll was good.
The only anime I guess that I've seen recently that I really enjoyed and is the first season in particular. The second season was a bit rubbish, to be honest. Was One Punch Man, which Nick, if you haven't seen, 100%.
I've heard of it. Haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's a comedy basically, and it's really funny. But also
Yeah,
the fights
season
are
one
ridiculous.
was a passion project from like the best in the business, and then season two was you don't have enough time and you've never done something like this before, and it just showed in their animation. They didn't have the time.
It was nowhere near as good in any way, shape, or form. It just felt drawn out and low budget. But season one, fantastic bit of TV, and really funny. But watch it with the subtitles, not with dubbed. Like,
Okay.
obviously.
I
Pretty
don't
much
think I've ever
always.
seen a show. The closest thing to an anime show I've seen is either Pokemon or Astro Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Astro
and,
Boy.
Gecko
I used to
Gamer with a
love as a
super
kid.
chat there. Does Pokemon count as anime? Let's say yes for the purposes
Yeah.
of this podcast.
I'd argue yes. So
It
yes,
is.
Pokemon. Pokemon I liked, and Astro Boy I used to love watching.
Favorite
I
fighter?
love Astro Boy.
So I can
Anime
say One Punch
fighter.
Man. I can say
like
One Punch
Guilty
Man 'cause he was in
Gear
an
or
anime
Grand
game.
Blue.
Yeah, I used to play Guilty Gear, so back on
Samurai
Dreamcast.
Showdown.
One of them.
Samurai Showdown. Does Marvel vs. Capcom count? It has to, doesn't it?
It's got some anime characters ish in it.
Mine is Marvel vs. Capcom. That has to count, surely.
Well, there you go.
I hope.
I've just seen the
If it
next
counts,
question.
then it's Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah, I've just seen the
No,
next
It's got
question.
it's got
This is the one that really
sorry, it's got
matters.
Rockman in it, and he has an anime, so it works.
I mean, Street Fighter has an anime.
Yep, you're good.
If we want to
You're
get
covered.
real technical about it. Okay. That'll work. Sadistic Magician. Toilet paper. What's your preferred thickness, gentlemen? We've always been a 3-ply household, which I find to be the sweet spot. Not too thick, not too thin. However, due to COVID and panic buying, my wife was forced to buy 2-ply eco-friendly paper, and I can assure you, it was not a pleasant experience.
Not bad.
Hopefully, this will never have to happen again. Keep up the great work. I have nothing gaming related this week, so I'm all about 3-ply. God, I'm glad those days of not being able to buy toilet paper are over. Man, that was a weird period of 2020.
Okay,
It might be coming back, man.
so
But for different reasons.
Yeah.
Different reasons. Now you can't buy anything in supermarkets because all the delivery people have COVID and aren't working. So nothing's getting to the stores. It's not that it's selling out, it's not getting there to begin with.
yeah, for us,
Which is
it's we voted for Brexit, and suddenly, yeah, all of the people that drive lorries for us no longer want to do that. Whoops.
Oopsie daisies.
Yeah, but on the toilet paper front, yes, if I have to use toilet paper like some sort of animal, then 3-ply is the way to go. But as I installed
A
built
bidet.
this house, no, not a bidet, a bum gun. That's the real shit.
A what?
A bum gun.
The hell is a bum gun?
It's literally a
Shoot yourself in the ass.
pressured shower, miniature shower tap with temperature control, and you just.
So a bidet.
But it's not.
Isn't that what you? Isn't that what you do
It's a
with the
gun.
bidet?
It's a gun shape, and you and you're done, and you just dab it dry. Perfect. Because let me put it in a different way, right? Let me put it in a different way. As a clean freak, which I know you are, right? If you got poo, human poo, excrement on your hand, would you get a bit of paper and just be like, "That's good enough"?
No,
That's
I'd
clean?
wash my hands. If I
Right.
was to do that, I'd wash my hands.
Of course you would. So why were you content to just like have a crappy ass all the time?
Because I also... I'm not going to talk about it.
Bum guns. There you go.
Trust me, I'm clean enough. I don't need a gun. I'm clean. It's fine.
Oh dear.
Anyway, enough of that question.
There you go.
Okay. DeoGame. E3 is dead? Long live E3. First off, do you think E3 is actually dead? We covered so many of these community questions during the show.
We predict the community.
Secondly, if E3 is truly well and gone, do you think Microsoft will want to participate in SGF? Is that
They will.
What's that one?
Summer
What's
Games
this
Fest.
one?
Games Fest.
All right. And other similarly timed events. It made sense for E3 as they have ties to the ESA, but they aren't on the board of the Summer Games Fest, for instance. I wonder if they're part of the Jeff Grubb Games mess. Is it perhaps in their best interest to distance themselves from the event for whatever works best on their own terms, like their July 2020 show, or do you think there are still benefits in bringing the big guns to the Summer Games Fest E3 timeframe? I feel like Microsoft will continue to support those existing events.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah. And
I don't know
2021's
anything.
event was supposedly a part of both E3 and Summer Game Fest, depending on which of them was tweeting about it.
God, that was the worst. That was the worst last year. No, year before. Sorry, 2020. 2020 was just... Man, it's the worst.
Yeah, it was.
Yep. Okay. Creaky Legs. Hello, lads. As I wait patiently by the mail for my next Patreon goodie basket to arrive, I hope you all like the Rumourmill tune. Edit. Good Lord, John, that was awful, and I loved it. Keep making half-baked voiceover stuff each episode. It adds to the ridiculousness, unless you come up with something permanent. Anywho, Jez Corden of Windows Central earlier said exactly what I think many of us had been thinking in the back of our minds anytime Starfield is brought up. Are we really going to be waiting 15 years for games like Fallout 5 to come out? When we're all 30, 40, 50 plus years old? Because it was either Todd or Pete said something along the lines that Fallout 5 would come after Elder Scrolls 6. Why? I know God Howard can't actually be everywhere at once, but does he need to be that involved in each game? They should really expand to multiple teams for each franchise at this point. I'm sure Microsoft is not going to just sit in the bleachers and watch doing nothing if Bethesda shows them a roadmap that shows Starfield 2 is in 2038 if this game turns out to be as big of a hit as they hope. I know people want Obsidian to do a Fallout New Vegas 2. I'm sure they'd take on the task and probably complete Avowed, The Outer Worlds 2, and get that out before Bethesda even has a first draft script for Fallout 5. What do you guys think? Should Bethesda expand and get these games in production simultaneously? Or is the decade-plus long wait a better strategy for these franchise releases? I'm going to have an interesting take on this one.
Go on.
I reckon leave it as is. And let everyone wait. And build up that anticipation. And turn it into an event. They've got enough studios. They're going to start pumping out enough games. Like, let them become events. Let people just whip themselves into a frenzy for Fallout 5 and Elder Scrolls 6. Why not?
Yep.
Works for GTA.
Well,
Works for whatever Naughty Dog's doing.
yeah. I mean, I have a slightly different opinion in that I firmly believe. What's next? What's next? Is it Fallout is next before Elder Scrolls? No, Elder Scrolls.
They've announced Elder
Scrolls is
They haven't
next.
said anything about Fallout.
Elder Scrolls is obviously going to be in pre or at least starting production, right? Because the majority, or if not everything, is playable in Starfield at this point, and it's going to be some serious polish up. So I don't think that the time between releases is as dramatic as one would think. I know that 2027 or whatever feels like a long way away, but if Starfield is this year, and then let's say Elder Scrolls is 2024, 2025, that's pretty normal. At the end of the
there's
day,
stuff like Avowed. There's stuff like Outer Worlds 2. There's stuff like there's so much in between that, like, I don't know. I think let them become events unto themselves. Microsoft needs that stuff.
Yeah,
they need it.
They do. I just don't know if it's necessarily even about it being an event. It's like, let games be made at a reasonable human pace and not rushed to make a buck. Because that's effectively what you're asking. Expand the team so that I get my thing that I want quicker at probably lower quality because I just want it. Like, do you really want an Elder Scrolls 6 next year just because it's Elder Scrolls 6? Or do you want Elder Scrolls 6 in the way that they want to deliver it?
Yeah. Like, have a look at what Starfield will most likely be, because Todd Howard now has Microsoft's resources to tap into, and he's been given the extra year now, and don't we want Elder Scrolls 6 to now be the first Elder Scrolls where Todd has all those resources at his disposal and can take as long as he needs to make it this incredible hopefully bug-free thing? Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
and a large portion of this delay was also, it wasn't just making Starfield, it was completely redoing their entire tool system. So they don't have to do that in between every game, so you can expect things to hit a lot faster now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I think let it go, personally. Let it go.
There you go.
That's just my take. I don't. The funny thing is, I'm making a comment on this, and I don't even play those games. Never played Fallout. Never played Elder Scrolls.
Similar vein. Like, they're not my types of games, but like, I understand.
I won't play Starfield.
Yeah, I will play Starfield because it's sci-fi.
No, I won't play Starfield.
But at the end of the day, the reason you love those games, people that love those games out there, is because they were given the amount of time they needed to be as good as they are.
Like I said, I still think personally, like, again, and I say this as someone that could not care less about Starfield, will not play it, not interested. I still think Starfield will be huge. I think it will be massive. I think it's going to become this. I don't know. It's nothing more than a gut feeling. Nothing more than a pure gut feeling. I reckon it's going to become one of these ginormous IPs. Like, just that each release becomes an event. It's just this huge event that's right up there with the biggest of the big. I don't know why, and it's weird that I have this feeling because I could not care less. Like, I absolutely 100% do not care and am not interested.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's this weird feeling I can't shake. That I just reckon it's going to be massive. Like, bonkers massive. I don't know why. Anyway.
We'll see.
Okay. Samir Alcha. Hello, beautiful gentlemen. I'm beautiful. Do you like snowy biomes / levels in games, and which one is your favourite? Sending hugs from the snowy Balkans. God, I don't like this word biomes. I don't like it.
It's a normal word that does have a good use for people.
But I feel like I never heard it before Returnal.
No.
Like, I never heard... And you know what?
I've heard the word
I made a fool of myself. So I sat there in the Discord being like, you know, this arrogant prick. Like, biomes. No one ever used the word biomes before Returnal. Stop using the word biomes. And then I went and used the Discord search function and searched the word biomes. People have been using the word biomes in the Discord since the Discord started in 2018. Wow. I'm like, well, I'm a dickhead, aren't I? Because I was completely wrong.
It came to the forefront a lot because of Returnal, 100%. Like, I saw it everywhere.
It did.
Because the developers themselves referred to the levels as biomes.
Yes. I don't know. It's one of those words that sounds icky. Biome. Like, moist.
Is used in Minecraft.
It's like moist for me, that word biome. Moist. It's just, I don't know, it's this gross word. I just don't like it. Just call them environments. or worlds or levels. Like, just don't call them biomes.
Oh dear.
But to the question, do you like snowy ones?
Yes.
Not recently. Recently, most games that have had snowy levels, I haven't enjoyed them much. I like the one in X-Men 2 on Mega Drive. Was it X-Men 2 or X-Men Clone Wars? Where you start in the snow.
I think it's X-Men 2.
Yeah. I think one of the Donkey Kong Country games had a cool snow level. But in more modern games, they haven't done much for me.
I think the last time I was super impressed with snow deformation and just the general feel of being in that kind of biome was Red Dead Redemption 2.
Ah.
Yeah, I put it up for you, Nick. It is X-Men 2 Clone Wars.
Oh, there you go. See? My memory's not too bad. It's going, but it's not too bad.
Yeah, but I really missed that Halo Infinite didn't have, that kind of assault on the control room, snowy peaked mountains. Like, I was surprised due to the height
I did
of some
enjoy
of the
it in
mountains
Halo.
I
did like it in Halo.
So
I did like it in Halo.
And Halo CE, in the multiplayer maps, the hogs used to drift on the ice lakes on Sidewinder and
Yes,
stuff like that.
they did. Yeah. I did like it in Halo. It was good. Because Halo didn't slow you down in the snow, which just kind of annoys me. Because it all comes back to my dislike for slow walk and talk. Like, just stop trying to slow me down in a game. Don't slow me down.
Yep.
Anyway, next. Good old Collingwood. Happy Orthodox Christmas, John, Nick, and Jesse, but especially Nick. Yes, because I am Orthodox. Not that I'm overly religious, but anyway. Piggybacking on DirtyFlint, TomRaptor. I think that's a typo, but I am going to call him TomRaptor from now on, for sure. And Kane's questions about VR. Which Xbox Game Studio games could successfully make the jump to VR? We know, well, any of the first-person ones. We know that on PC there is a thriving community of VR enthusiasts on Flight Simulator, and there is Minecraft VR. There has even been a VR mod for Halo the Master Chief Collection. Has there? Wow.
Yeah, there's been some bits and pieces for Halo.
But what about other games? Good old Collingwood.
I got the answer before you guys can even talk. I know.
Doom?
Double Fine. Because they already did one.
Yeah.
That Rhombus of Ruins
Ninja
is
Theory.
pretty good.
Ninja Theory do VR games.
Hellblade is in VR.
Yeah. But any of the first-person games surely could be VR. Doom, Halo.
Doom
could you
has
imagine
one,
Halo?
and it's okay. The Doom one is very small in scope, but it's very fun to play.
Okay.
I mean, the thing with first-person games being VR is, it makes sense. I actually really like some of the third-person VR games where you're controlling and you can, you've got the depth and you can spin and observe while you're controlling the character. That would be quite fun to do. So, like, just Psychonauts 2, but in that VR kind of 3D with all that depth, would look very nice. But yeah, like, VR, in my opinion, the problem with putting big games into VR is that wearing a headset for that length of time isn't that fun. It's just not. I played Subnautica in VR. Whew, that was a stomach churner. And it, I can manage like half hour. The longest game I've stayed in the VR one was for Lone Echo, and I still need to buy the sequel, which I think is out now. But that was a VR game. They're just better as short experiences. They just are.
I don't stay long.
So, yeah, we'll see. Gears VR.
No thanks.
Chainsaw.
WildStar. Hello all. Today I tested positive for COVID. And with this I've had to isolate in the bedroom so the family can be okay. I'm not feeling too bad at the moment, so I'm watching you guys with no interruptions. And I've got my Xbox Series S with me, and I'm thinking 10 days, no kids, of playing through my back catalogue of games that I've got, so it's Mass Effect first, and then I'll go from there. Happy days. Well, hope you get better, WildStar.
I'm jealous. I need to get myself some COVID so I can sit indoors and play games.
It's like I can be isolated in this room and just play games.
Are you good at writing reviews?
Quick, let's get him on
do you want to write some reviews for us? Okay.
Yeah.
Predrag, our designer.
All hail.
So, many people are on board that Square Enix at some point will sell out their Western studios. Pretty safe bet. If this ever happens,
If
why do people think they will go with MS Xbox? Because they will. Tencent can pay top dollar too. And even Sony would like to make these studios part of the PlayStation family.
That's a
They're
good
going
question.
to Xbox. Let's be serious. They're going to Xbox. If Square lets them go, they're going to Xbox.
Well, I mean, I would
If
say
Square lets them go.
If Square was to let Crystal Dynamics go, I would say that due to the existing relationship, the fact that they're working on a Microsoft first-party game anyway, that they would definitely go to Xbox. But
come on, let's be real here. Square aren't loaning out Crystal Dynamics to Microsoft that easily, while also publicly pushing them under the bus just for fun. Like I said back then, everyone should probably look at this as some kind of soft onboarding for them to become a Microsoft studio. Like, Crystal Dynamics seems like an no-brainer to become the next Xbox game studio.
yeah.
Like, let's be honest. This isn't some kind of, insider info, oh my god. This one is one of those, it's in your face logical ones, isn't it? Surely. Like, you know, Crystal Dynamics were always doing the Tomb Raider games for Xbox while Nix's did the ports on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Like, Crystal Dynamics appear to love Xbox and always have. And now they're helping make Perfect Dark while Square calls them a garbage studio. Like...
Yeah, and
come on.
Winter
like,
Shoulders
we see where this is going.
Yeah, Winter Shoulders pointing out in the chat that Square Enix were trying to sell IO Interactive before IO bought themselves and their own IP Hitman out. So
That's
there's already
right.
precedent.
Like, for me, Crystal Dynamics isn't even a question. It's a matter of when, not if.
When does it get announced?
To me, the bigger question is Eidos.
Yeah.
Eidos Montreal. That's the one I'm curious about. Like, do they end up with Microsoft as well? Or are they the ones that are sort of up for grabs?
Eidos Montreal did Deus Ex Human Revolution.
Guardians of the Galaxy as well.
So, yeah, I mean...
They're the ones that I think are probably up for grabs.
But then Guardians of the Galaxy did really well, apparently.
Well,
it did terribly.
no. That's right.
It was
didn't
really
do
great
well.
with critics. It sold like shit.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Critical success,
Not
commercial bomb, thanks to Avengers.
Oh, dear.
Like, Avengers 100% affected that game. 100% affected that game.
Yeah.
So, for me, Crystal Dynamics is 100% it's happening. It's just a matter of when. Eidos Montreal is the one that I am curious about. I think Microsoft would want them.
Yeah. No brainer.
But whether they get them or not is another ballgame. Someone like Sony might look at Eidos and be like, they can make a single-player, linear, over-the-shoulder action game. Hey, maybe we get them on board. They've done a Marvel game real well. Maybe Eidos helps us get more Marvel games.
Yeah. Although, would they give Eidos Tomb Raider if they were to sell Crystal Dynamics?
If Microsoft gets... I say if. To me, it's more when. But if Microsoft gets Crystal, Tomb Raider comes with them. There's no way known Tomb Raider doesn't come with them. Because who's going to make... Why would Square keep it? Why would they keep it?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if Square sold Crystal Dynamics but kept the IP, would they put Eidos Montreal onto making new Tomb Raider
Nah,
games?
because they're not going to just keep one Western studio. They'll get rid of all of it. No. If Crystal comes to Microsoft, I reckon Tomb Raider 110% comes with them. Microsoft will pay. Microsoft will pay to get Tomb Raider as well with Crystal.
Yeah.
And to me, again, why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they?
It is funny that the last Tomb Raider game was made by Eidos Montreal and...
Correct. Yes. And it was the one that was the least liked.
It was really good, though.
It was very pretty.
I think it's okay. Like, I'm struggling to force myself through it because I've hit... What's that village?
Yeah, the big village in the middle. Yeah.
Yes.
I know.
And oh
You're
my
like,
God,
This is almost open world. What is this?
I know. I'm still stuck there, and it's just like, oh my god. Where
just
Tomb
have
Raider
to-
2013 and Rise are amazing.
Just have
They
the
are
main
the
line.
best. Yeah, they are the best Uncharted games going around
Yeah.
by far. I don't care if people get upset. They are the best Uncharted games by a mile. Like
I really enjoyed
they are such fantastic action games. I absolutely adore them. So if Microsoft can get Crystal and Tomb Raider and pump money into a future Tomb Raider game from them, oh man, and they get to use Unreal Engine 5 for it.
Yeah.
Would we get complaints, though, that now Xbox has once again bought out the exclusivity of Tomb Raider game?
Yes, you would.
Oh, but apparently that's not a problem for Final Fantasy.
Oh, no, that's
I'm
fine.
not seeing any articles about Final Fantasy. Funny
No,
that, isn't
Final
it?
Fantasy's.
Why aren't we
it's a
seeing any
really
articles about Final
business-savvy
Fantasy being
move.
locked away? Oh, well, why aren't we seeing any articles? I don't understand. I don't get it. Why aren't I seeing them? Why? Jeez. It's funny, the absence of those anti-friggin' money hat articles about Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
That's really odd. Gee. Curious, that.
Go figure.
Okay. Oh, here we go. It's been a while since I've done this.
I'm glad to see it back, to be honest.
Oh, it's been a
I got
while.
nervous for a while there.
I've done a little something to make this more special. It's, boy, her question's long, so it might cover up you guys a bit. But
Oh, wow. It is
maybe
still.
I'll
Look at that.
resize it.
Jesus Christ. I haven't looked at this
Yeah.
one beforehand. I only saw that there was a Kira's question like at the very last second and sprinted out of this room at like 1 minute to 10 saying, whoa, I've got to grab the robe. And then my wife's like, I'm already wearing it. And she just gave me the robe. Had to literally take the clothes off her back
Yeah.
to get this.
Give
Because
me
it's
this
summer
robe.
here, so she's not wearing her winter robe anymore. She's wearing the summer robe, which
Aw.
I have now stolen. That's what I do. I steal stuff. Should I have admitted that?
No.
I steal stuff. Okay. I steal clothes. That's my theme.
that's my
I
secret.
steal clothes from people. Okay. Karis. Hello, insert amusing name here. Maybe that is the amusing name. Insert amusing name here. See how I sort of twisted that?
I like it. It worked.
I don't know. This is a German phrase, and I don't know. Guten Rutsch. I don't know if I pronounce it. I know Guten Tag, but I don't know Guten Rutsch, as they say in Germany. Good slide into the new year. I don't know if that's Rutsch or Rutsch, Rush. I don't know. Karis can correct me by typing it out phonetically.
Yeah,
in
we
the
should
chat,
have some
please.
phonetics in here.
Give me something a little more phonetic. Okay. Good slide into the new year. Given I already slid my way into a broken ankle, I shan't join you on this occasion. Hold on. If you've got a broken ankle, you can still sit and watch a podcast. Like, you don't have to walk around to watch a podcast. Just saying. Okay. Well, unless you have any sweet medicinal laudanum? Laudanum? Laudanum?
Laudanum.
I think it's a drug.
Laudanum. I've never actually heard of this word or seen that word before. To
Laudanum.
dull the pain in my foot and soul. Just quickly, I wanted to say both an apology to the community and sincere thanks. I was in bad shape around Christmas. News of my father's deteriorating condition, despite him largely unresponsive for 4 years, really hit me harder than I realised for some time. It's not nice to hear. Add to that, children with COVID and being alone at work while everyone else was sick just dragged me out thin. Subsequently, I was rather bitchy to some and wanted to say sincerely sorry. That's okay, that's fine. There were lots of members who reached out and helped me realise how bad I was and how I needed a mini break to reset myself a little, and to those members, all my love and thanks. I owe Tavish and Abe a dinner of their choice in particular. Apologies to Jesse as well. I was probably a total bitch, and I kept missing you to say so in the last week.
I
Okay.
accept.
Okay. That Jesse is wonderful and certainly wouldn't abuse his moderation powers to hijack an apology, to say what an excellent producer sorry he is, and to remind people to sub to Twitch. That Jesse is a guy who gets things done. You know, I thought that didn't sound like Keras, so I just realized as I was reading that, what was going on there.
Wait, I've read further on, and it says at the end,
Yeah,
it's
you just
terrible.
get to
I
the
feel
bottom.
compelled to add a note that Jesse really didn't add that paragraph.
Oh, he
That was
didn't
me
add
being
that.
Ironic, just in case anyone is confused.
Oh, she got you good.
She did.
Got wrecked.
She did. I feel like a right dick again. Okay. Anyway, question. With the Game of the Year thread posted by Sukebrud being as entertaining as such threads are, remember everyone, Metroid Dread, Game of the Year. And with mental health foremost in my mind, it occurred to me, while compiling my list, how much unpacking came out of nowhere and really resonated with me and delighted me and was genuinely the emotional highlight of my year. A wonderful little game which not only moved me to tears, but manages to do so even when I just start trying to explain why it did so. Do the panel have any such experiences where a game, or some other media, has come out of nowhere and just really made your day? Just made you feel such joy and happiness no matter how small or simple? What surprising thing has reset your demons? In need of a foot rub, Cerys. And then the note that made me look like a dickhead. It's terrible, I feel compelled to add a note that Jesse really didn't add that paragraph. That was irony, just in case anyone is confused. I was confused.
You got played.
Because I thought that was Jesse. Because Jesse
That's the kind
would
of
do
thing
something
Jesse
like
would
that.
do.
That's why it fooled me, because Jesse would 100% do something like that. Don't shake your head, Jesse, you would.
I didn't. I haven't said no.
Brothers.
Great choice.
Only video game to ever make me cry. The single only, and it did it without cutscenes. It did it without exposition dumps. It did it with, like, I'm telling you, people, join the hashtag skip cutscenes movement so that video game developers stop putting movies into their games. If you do it properly, you can deliver your story and have an emotional impact within the gameplay if you know what you are doing. Yeah. Stop making me watch movies. If Joseph Fares can do it, the rest of you can do it. BioShock did it. Halo CE did it. Metroid Prime did it. Plenty of amazing games have delivered their stories without having to rely on an overabundance of movies. Brothers did it amazingly.
Brothers is a great one to call out.
Not a single cutscene. And it doesn't even, the game doesn't even have English.
No.
It doesn't even have English. It was all, and yet guess what? I still knew what the hell was going on, and I cried at the end. Yeah, like, you can do it.
That's one of those incredible moments.
You just have to put the effort in, folks. You can do it.
I mean, like, I don't think I've ever
possible.
Cried at a video game. And first of all, Cerys, it's a bummer to read that you've had a bit of a rough end to 2021. So
rough go of it.
Much love, and I hope you come back swinging for 2022. But yeah, like, game wise, I don't think a game has ever made me cry. Like,
nah, Brothers, man, I was like tearing up. Just
Brothers
a little bit of a sniffle.
Like,
little bit of a sniffle.
It's hard to describe. You know that feeling you can sometimes get where your stomach drops
and your throat gets a bit tight.
Yeah, like I've got to that. Like I'm like just realizing, and I think at that moment in the game, the music swells as you realize that he's with you in spirit, and like wow. But for me, it's more movies that do that kind of thing. And funnily enough, I think on Monday or Tuesday this week, I can't remember which, Tuesday maybe. I woke up and I was feeling miserable, very, very, seasonal affect disorder, winter, it's dark, I'm cold, I'm tired. And there's a couple of videos on YouTube, they're donkeys years old now. Donkeys years old, of flash mobs, and one of them's Ode to Joy, which is Beethoven.
Oh, yeah.
Beethoven. But there's this scene where this little girl goes and plays an oboe player or a double bass player, whatever it is, and he's standing there in like he was at the proms wearing the full ducktails and everything, and she puts the coin and he starts playing the and then all of a sudden people start coming in and out of the crowd, and then when they hit the big crescendo and they've got these people filming just average people out on the street, and you see the pure joy on their faces. It's things like that. You see the humanity in it. That's the stuff that gets me every time and just makes me kind of feel the release. And there's another one where someone's playing Grieg's Morning, you know, and they're on the train going into Stockholm, like first thing in the morning, everyone's sleeping, and suddenly all these violins come out. What a morning that would make for your commute. Like, it's that kind of stuff for me. It's seeing other people feel that.
My positive one is The Artful Escape as a game.
Good choice.
Playing it was just, I just loved playing it.
It was
just seeing all the environments light up and the music and the riffs and, loved it. That was in the Game of the Year voting on the forum. That was my number 3. Metroid Dread, Halo Infinite, Artful Escape. Artful Escape is so good. You know, I just saw the comment now. Damn good 75. Metal Gear Solid 4 was 5 hours gameplay, 20 hours cinematic. It was 8 hours, dude. Like, the cinematics in Metal Gear Solid 4 were as long as a game. It was 8 hours long of cinematics. Just... Mental.
And one of them was as long as a movie, a full 90 minutes.
I remember sitting through it, and I was looking at my watch, because back then I used to wear a watch, and I was like... This has been going for a long time, this movie. What's happening right now? I'm like, what is happening? Oh, Joanna Dark, yes. I liked Metal Gear Solid 4 too. Like, the game itself I liked. Just not that many movies. And then there was the loading screen because it was the Blu-ray was installing or something. And Snake is having a cigarette. And that took forever to install and load. And you spend so much time not playing Metal Gear Solid 4 that it's crazy. Like, you spend so much time not playing that game. Like, it's insane.
Yeah. So
anyway.
True.
Last question. Kraken56. Do you think Sony's aggressive purchasing of timed exclusives will make it more likely Xbox buys another publisher? Yes, I do. Assuming cultures align, because I think these games will start adding up to hurt their ecosystems, plus all the games they aren't money-hatting, like Genshin Impact, Fall Guys, and Final Fantasy XIV. I think the money hats were a factor in them buying Bethesda. It is a business, and these deals do hurt them. I agree with you, Kraken56. I think Sony's aggressive money-hatting has played a role in Microsoft's acquisitions. A role. I'm not saying it's like the main reason. I think it's played a role. Yeah. Like, there were rumors floating around, and I had heard some of those rumors myself, of them trying to money hat Starfield. They money hatted Deathloop. They money hatted Ghostwire.
Yeah.
I think that played a role in Microsoft going, we need to put a stop to this. 7.5 billion.
Yeah. 100%.
I wouldn't be surprised if that plays a role in future ones. Wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah.
Although now I'm starting to hear that BioShock might not be money-headed. I had been told that BioShock's being money-headed, and now I'm hearing that maybe that has changed. Maybe.
I hope so.
Again, I'm not sure. It's something I'm hearing. But at the time, I didn't hear that it was full or timed exclusive, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's still a timed exclusive. But I just brought it up because we were talking about money hats. So
here's a community question for you. When do you think the first big acquisition for Microsoft will land this year? Like, what month? Place your bets.
Oh, I was going to say within the first 6 months, but I don't know. Again, it's more involved with Microsoft. It's always more involved. Like it's funny that everyone gets all funny about the acquisitions, yet you have Jez post a tweet saying how everything at Microsoft takes forever because of all the bureaucracy and the red tape and all that. Yeah. So imagine how long an acquisition takes. Like, if you think about how long it takes Microsoft to get their SH exclamation mark T together for something as simple as fixing the Windows Store.
Yeah.
Imagine how long an acquisition is going to take.
Yeah, for sure.
Where there's licensing deals involved and IP involved and staff involved. And do you know what I mean? Like, it's just funny how everyone seems to... I don't know. It's just weird.
Nick, I've just, while you've been chatting, I just loaded up Twitter and it's flashed up with, you're getting a lot of notifications. What has FireMonkey done?
Who's getting a lot of notifications?
The XboxEra account. Fortnite news.
Oh God, do I really want to load Twitter?
No,
up?
you don't. There's 574 likes
Oh
so far.
no! Look at all my
87
notifications
retweets.
on Twitter.
Oh no.
What am I about to see? Oh no! And that other big Fortnite account got me.
Oh, well.
Sheena BR.
Dun dun dun. There you go. I have a community question. I have another community question.
We've got super chats, by the way.
Have we?
Yeah.
I didn't see them.
I think so.
Oh, forget me then.
Yeah. There was one from Georgie.
Another
As
one.
soon as I saw it, you guys think
You said that
Battletoads will
before
see
this
a...
one gets sent. Sorry.
Sorry?
He just sent one. Gecko sent one as you were saying that because I couldn't find any other ones.
Oh, well, Georgie had one. You guys think Battletoads or Sea of Thieves will get a sequel?
I don't think
I'm not answering.
Battletoads will.
You don't reckon?
No. I think...
You don't reckon? You really don't reckon?
I think I think there's another game being made by that team. But I don't think it's Battletoads.
You don't think Battletoads will get a sequel?
No.
Really? You don't think Battletoads will get a
I
sequel?
mean, judging from the way you're asking me that question repeatedly,
Oh, I'm just asking. I'm not saying anything. I'm just
mean,
asking if you really don't think Battletoads will
I
get a
really,
sequel.
I really don't think it will get a sequel.
Oh, okay. You
Cool.
really don't think it'll get a sequel? Okay.
No, I really don't think it will get a sequel. Do you think it will get a sequel?
Fair enough. Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying you don't think Battletoads will get a sequel?
No, I don't think Battletoads will get a sequel. Do you think Battletoads will
Okay.
get a sequel? I'm just checking.
What's the timestamp? What's the timestamp right now?
I don't know.
225.15.
Okay. Save it for
Okay.
my OneNote. I'll save it for my OneNote that John thinks Battletoads won't get a sequel.
Okay. Oh, God.
Just, sometimes I just keep that stuff just for the
Okay,
sake
cool. Yeah, sure. What about Sea of Thieves? Do you think it will get a sequel?
of it. No.
No.
It will not get a sequel. Why would it? Like, it's an ongoing game. They're not going to make the Destiny mistake. Like,
No.
why would Sea of Thieves... Bungie must be cursing that they did a
that.
Destiny 2.
Well, they were forced
They would
to
have
by
much...
Activision in the
Yeah,
contract.
they would have much rather just have Destiny. And that's it.
Yeah.
They must hate that there's that number 2 at the end of it. They must hate it internally, I reckon. I know I would. If I was working at Bungie, I would hate that number 2 is just stuck at the end of Destiny. I'd hate it.
Yeah.
I mean, surely they could just do whatever they want and just drop it. And just say, hey, guess what, guys? Destiny's a platform, so it's just called Destiny now. Just do it. Just drop the 2. Just drop it.
Knowing the Sony store, that would probably break it because it'd have the same game twice.
Yeah, that's true. Z Black Rider. My kids watched Pokemon. Time to ask your mum questions. You know how before we were talking about his Pokemon and anime?
Yeah. We
Okay.
probably should have read that out at the time. I feel bad that we missed it.
Oh, I saw them there and I was like, okay. Gecko Gamer. Going back to my first super chat. How much would be needed to get you to stream Psychonauts 2? No skipping cutscenes for charity. I have to go back to Psychonauts 2. I haven't beat it yet.
It's
I'm still
a very
playing
well
through it.
written game. There is a lot of cutscenes in it.
They're not
I know.
super long.
No,
There's a
they're
bunch
never
of them,
super
but
long.
And I have been skipping them. Like I love Halo, and I've been skipping those. I was skipping those cutscenes. Like I don't want to watch. Like people probably think this was just something I did with Sony's games. No, it's something I do.
He doesn't
with
discriminate.
all games. The only reason I didn't skip them in Metroid is because Metroid didn't let me the first time. Like, it wouldn't let me skip them. So anytime a cutscene came on in Metroid, guess what I was doing? I was doing this. It's like, oh, okay, is it over? Not over yet? Okay.
That is the one thing
Just
about
straight
the new,
back to my phone. I
the
was
new
like,
Series X and the Series hardware is not being able to just quickly scan my phone for stuff anymore is very detrimental to me.
I'm just...
But yeah,
I don't know how else to say it. I don't want to watch movies when I am playing video games. I'm not interested.
he said
I'm
it.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just not interested. It is... Yeah. Offer me a lot of money and maybe I'll watch them.
It's not
Yeah.
that we're upset, Nick. We feel bad for you.
Very disappointed. Very disappointed.
Yeah.
It's just, look, Look, if you like watching movies while playing video games, more power to you. Great. I just choose
I don't
to
like
play
Kojima
video
games.
And
Right.
it's a
There are
shame.
cutscenes that add to it. Those are great. Like Guardians of the Galaxy was served wonderfully by its story. It was better than the movies to me.
Maybe it was. I'll never find
I still
out.
really want to play that, but
I'll never find out. Because even when
be a
I play
Game
it, as soon as I see that button that says B or A to skip, I'll be like, boop. I'm like,
You have to make choices quite often during cutscenes, so I don't know that you can. I never tried.
I am Thanos. I'm always like, I don't know who you are. I don't even know who you are, just like Thanos says. I get to the end and I have no idea what's happened. Just let me beat the boss.
Yeah.
Whatever. Just let me beat the boss.
You should play Dead Cells. You can skip that one.
At any time during Halo Infinite, I was not 100% sure what was happening. I had an idea of what was happening. I had a rough idea.
Did you even
I'm
skip
like, wait,
the, like,
is
really cool
is
opening
Cortana
cutscene?
dead? Is she alive? I can't really remember. I didn't watch this cutscene, so I'm not sure. I'm like, wait, Atriox who's the bad guy? Is it Atriox or is it Escharum? Because I just kept skipping the cutscene. So
But did you watch the first CG one? At least, did you just skip that?
The one where he got his ass kicked by Escharum?
Yeah, no, by Atriox.
Wait,
CG one.
Was that
the only
Atriox?
CG one.
That was Atriox at the beginning. Yeah.
that was Atriox. Oh, right. I think I started watching it, realized I had already watched it, and then skipped it halfway through. I had already seen it on YouTube,
Ah, okay.
where he's like grapple hooks to save himself, and then it fades to black or whatever.
yeah,
I had already seen it on YouTube. So as I was watching it during the game, I'm like, wait, I've seen this. Skip. And then I sort of started to watch some of them, and then skipped them. Yeah. I had a rough idea of what was going on in Halo. Rough idea.
Rough.
Give or take. Give or take.
Okay, last community question from me.
Ah, okay.
Are you looking forward to episode 100 on the 12th of March, 2022?
I'll let you know in about a week or two. I'll let you know in about a week or two if I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, that's a good
I've sent
answer.
an email. And I will let you know if I get a reply to that email.
I'm looking forward to it. I have hope. I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We can hope.
we all will hope.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Yeah, 9 episodes to go. Well, 8
Yep.
episodes to go, really. But yeah,
Yep.
anyway,
8 episodes to go.
that's it. That's it.
That's
That's
it.
the end of your Saturday podcast or Sunday podcast. If you
Yep. Oh my God. The notifications just
they weren't stopping.
keep on coming.
No. It's just gonna turn my phone off.
Oh my God. How many new followers
It's
did
so
I just
funny
gain?
seeing the
Wow.
reaction in the
I
chat
just
is like-
gained... Man, okay, so I have to say thank you to iFireMonkey because I just gained like 100 followers in the space of a few minutes. Like, just in the space of a few minutes. I was like,
Mental.
what? Oh my God. So thank you for that one, iFireMonkey. Thank you, and also F you. Because I got so many notifications on Twitter that I'm gonna go through. Lots of Ninja Turtle stuff. What? That's why as soon as my source reached out to me and he's like, "Oh, I've got more Fortnite news," I'm like, oh, "Why? Why?"
God, there's so many.
I love
Thankfully,
Fortnite, but
aside
like,
from one of them, they're all just atting you and not XboxEra. You're gonna
Like-
be bigger than the main account soon.
iFireMonkey goes, "Love you too." I do not love you at all. For what you have just done to me, I don't love you at all. I just, as soon as he told me more Fortnite news, I'm like, I don't want to do another Fortnite one because people are gonna think. And okay, so I'm gonna reveal how the, what's that saying? I'm gonna reveal
How the sausage is made.
How the sausage is made. I DM'd iFireMonkey in advance. And I was like, I just got to give him more Fortnite news, but I don't know if I want to talk about it on the podcast because people are going to think I made it up and they're going to think that I'm lying about it just to, like, get attention. And he's like, it's up to you, man. It's up to you if you want to do it or not. I'm like, but I like Fortnite. I love Fortnite. So
I'm not judging you. It's a great game if you're into that. I'll give the no build thing a try.
If no build comes, oh man, like I have just won so many games because now that I've done Halo basically to level 100, I need to pump a bit more time into Fortnite. If any of the rich Fortnite people want to buy me some levels, please feel free. My epic gamer tag is Eshpeshually Nick, so follow me and send me some levels, please, because I'm only like 48, I want to say. I don't know if I'm going to make it to 80 for Spider-Man. That's the only reason I got the Battle Pass for Spider-Man. And then I went and bought the movie Spider-Man bundle.
Wow.
So I didn't even need the Battle Pass, but doesn't matter. I don't even want to know how much money I've spent on Fortnite at this point. It would be in the hundreds and hundreds of Australian dollars on Fortnite. And that's just me. That's not including what I've spent on my children. Like, I paid $60 to get them both Ariana Grande. So, God only knows what I've spent on that game between the 3 accounts. My 2 kids and my own. If it's not pushing $1,000, I'd be very surprised. If it's not pushing $1,000,
that's crazy.
I'd be very, very surprised.
Have you been?
And I skip the Fortnite cutscene videos too, just in any case
playing,
anyone's interested.
Wordle? Has anyone else been playing Wordle?
No. What the hell is that game?
I might make a thread on the forums about it. I'm weirdly addicted to it. So
what the hell is it?
So it's
and how do you play it?
It's a five-letter word every day. You get 6 guesses.
But what are you playing it on? What's the platform?
It's just a mobile browser. It's just a little website. You just go on it, you click it, you can share what your guesses are. But you guess the word. If you get a letter correct, but in the wrong place, it goes yellow. If you get a letter correct and it's in the right place, goes green. You've got 6 tries, and if you don't succeed in the 6 tries, you lose. It's just a fun little brain teaser every day. Like, what could the word be? And it's a new word every day. Yeah, I know. It's just weirdly addictive. It's like every day I'm like, oh, what's the word? Yeah, it is Word Feud of 2022, I guess. Or Words with Friends. Yeah. But, yeah. There you go. It's the end. Let's call it. It's the end of the podcast. I'm going to go to bed. It's 20 to 2 in the morning.
Wow. My Fire Monkey's already put the clip up and everything.
Yeah.
There's already a clip.
You're going to be bigger than the main XboxEra Twitter account soon. Verified before you know it.
Nah, I don't reckon.
We'll see.
That account's like 3,000 ahead of me.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like 3,000 ahead of me. I don't think I'll catch it.
We need YouTube to catch up. We need to we want to hit 100k this year, right? Got 90k to go.
Yeah, we've only got yeah. Well,
we need the plaque. That's the moment we made it. But It's been fun hanging out with everybody. We'll see you next time, and we hope you had fun too. Hopefully, a non-Fortnite related rumor. It does amuse me. Last thing though, bigger rumors have been said than just a Fortnite skins bundle.
I know,
and yet they are the ones that go crazy on Twitter.
I know.
Go figure.
I just when I get told about them, I'm like, oh, okay, so this person's appearing in Fortnite. Okay, because I got told about Naruto back in August. And again, because I'm not a web crawler, everyone should know by now that I'm not a web crawler and I'm old and I'm not up with it, with whatever. So when I got told about Naruto, I'm like, oh, cool, Naruto. And I tweeted about it, got no attention at all. But then a mate of mine who plays a lot of Fortnite was like, oh, I think Naruto got mentioned back in as early as May or something. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know that. And then now I get told about the Fortnite stuff and I'm like, cool. And it's much bigger deal than all the other stuff, apparently.
Go figure. Fortnite, hugely popular. I wonder if it's the most popular game in the world. Oh, wait, it is.
Yeah, I think it might be.
There you go. Cool. Yeah. All right. much love to everybody. Thank you, Jesse, as always, for flipping all the switches and pushing all the buttons behind the scenes. And we'll see you next time.
Ciao for now.